evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Angel of Thy Night Radio. And this is Lord Rick, your host, also known as Angel of Thy Night. And tonight we're bringing you a special show live in Carson City as I bring you some Father Rickmas Crazy Roast. And we're going to go ahead, I'm going to teach you how to prep everything on Christmas Eve so that on Christmas Day, you really don't have to do anything. Because a lot of people spend half of Christmas Day cooking and they don't get to play their PS4, or with their kids outside. So by slow cooking the roast, pre-prepping the vegetables, and also making a baked ravioli 6 to 7 cheese in the oven will allow you to have a little more time because everything will be pre-prepped and all you do is just slow cook it. Put it in the oven for maybe an hour, hour and a half, and voila, dinner is done. And so I'm going to teach you how to season your vegetables and make them nice and fresh. We're going to be using a lot of fresh vegetables. It's going to be amazing what we're putting together tonight. This is a big meal, a big show we got together. So if you have a couple hours, sit down, have a good time, grab yourself some brews. In my case, I'm going to have myself a whiskey because I learned why a lot of Santa Clauses drink, because really, we gotta sit in these suits all fucking day long, alright? It's hot in these suits. It's not just hot, but you gotta deal with crazies too. If you're at the mall and you're a Santa Claus, you're gonna piss another Santa Claus off, because you'll be like, hey, this is my mall, this is my corner of the mall. And Santa Clauses fight Santa Clauses. So sometimes Santa Clauses need a drink. So throughout the show, you may see me take a shot of whiskey. Who knows? I may even take a puff on my pipe. Hell, I'm gonna take a puff on the pipe. Last time I did this, I caught my beard on fire. This shit's not anti-flame resistant, okay? I mean, these beards come from fucking China. It's like a moth to the fucking flame, man. You're lighting your fucking bowl and all of a sudden it's like the whole thing just goes up in flames. And I mean, it's a scary scenario because you gotta grab the beard and just go, ah! Like it's fucking aliens and shit, You ever see the movie Aliens? They got the fucking alien on the face and you're trying to grab it and pull it off? That's what I look like. I look like Santa, but only in an Aliens movie. Grabbing the beard and just going, ah! And it's on fire, That's why Santa Clauses drink. So, I probably will strip down as the show goes on little by little. But let's get on. We got a long show ahead of us. I'm going to tell you what's in store. I'm going to make a spinach ravioli with about 7 different cheeses, 6 to 7 cheeses, and we'll layer it and we'll put it in here beautifully. That way it's ready to go in the oven to be baked tomorrow. I was going to put some fresh spinach into it, but I forgot to pick it up. I just get so swamped. But you can do that too. You can take fresh spinach, you can throw it on in, but I'll show you how to do the ravioli. And then what we have here is we have a few roasts. More than a few, but we're going to slow cook the roast. We're not going to slow cook them tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to make the marinades and the gravies for the roast and let it just sit overnight. That way it can soak in some of the juices. That way when I put it in at 10 a.m. on slow cook, by 5, 6 o'clock I'll be ready to eat the roast. And it'll pull apart and be so tender, and it'll be juicy and succulent. And that's what we want. We want to be able to slow cook them all day long on Christmas while we go play with our toys. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute the roast. I'm going to show you why we do that, because that's really important for flavor and taste. The crust is kind of the best part. And we're going to pre-prep a vegetable medley. It's going to have fresh sugar snap peas, celery, mushrooms, red potatoes, baby carrots. Might even throw some broccoli and cauliflower in. I haven't decided, but this is going to be a really wholesome meal. And on Christmas, which is tomorrow, we'll have a nice feast, and it'll slow cook all day. and the aroma will go throughout the house of the roast, along with the beautiful candles that we have burning here. Yeah, I just want to say, you know, I'm not a very religious person. I mean, I may not be the Santa Claus that you expect, but I am Santa Claus. And tonight, and every Christmas, I do a charity event where I deliver a bunch of presents to the disabled. And so I go out at midnight dressed as Santa Claus. This is my getup, and I deliver the gifts, house to house to house, you know. And basically what I do is I load my whole truck up with presents, and then we go house to house and we deliver, you know. And so I'll be tonight dressed as the lucky jolly red man. And you know, the one thing, I mean, it is true, when you're Santa Claus, you get nothing but cookies, man. Nothing but cookies. I'm fat as it is. Seems like every holiday rolls around, or every time Christmas rolls around, I get back to Santa fucking size. I don't know what it is. It's like magic. You snap your fingers, all of a sudden you're like jolly and fucking red, you know? Next year, maybe I get a blue Santa Claus suit. Match my blue sunglasses. But anyways, I'm going to get this getup off, because we're going to get on with the show, and I'm not going to cook with the beard on. Because I could see my beard getting full of sauce. I could see myself dropping something into the crock pot or whatever, you know. People be like, oh, it's a white Santa here, you know. And you got the family over for dinner. That would not be a good scenario. But before we start the show, let us take a moment of silence. Let me do a little sing-along for you guys, okay? I wrote this just for you, to bring you back to the old days of Angel of the Night Radio. You know, Candy and Dancer and Vixen, Stormy and Violet and Venus and Roxy. But do you recall the most famous stripper of all? Rudolph the Red Titty Prostitute had a very shiny rack. And if you ever saw them, you would even say they glow. All of the other strippers used to dance and call her names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any whorish games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your tits so bright, would you suck my cock tonight? Then how the other tours loved her as they shouted with glee, Rudolph the red boob stripper, you'll go down in Santa porn history. So let's get on with the show. It's time for me to go a little bit beardless, you know what I'm saying? You can't really drink with the beard on. Like I go into Virginia City, you know, and it's like I gotta pull the beard down, or I get alcohol on the beard. I wash my beard in December like every day of the week. Because like, oh, I spilled food on the beard, oh, I spilled whiskey on the beard. You know, you go out, you wear the beard with pride, man. Once you put on the suit, you're really not Angel of the Night, you're really not Lord Rick. But I'm bad Santa. You know, it's amazing how like, if you dress as Santa Claus and you go in a store, you will get discounts. People will be like, I'll give you as my employee discount, I'll take 20% off. They feel bad for you, man. And I don't do this for people to feel bad for me, but, you know, I walk into a shop dressed as Santa and they're like, you know what? There is today a 20% Santa Claus discount. And I just get so excited, man. I jump up and down and the fucking beard falls off in the store. I'm like, oops. Not real, folks. Not real. I wish I could grow a beard that long. Then again, I wish I didn't. Some people are like, well, Rick, you keep your facial hair kind of short. Is that because you didn't go through puberty or you couldn't grow a beard? No. I like to eat. I'm a messy eater. Do you really think it's a good idea I have a beard? Can you imagine me, you know, going on a paranormal show and I got fucking pasta in my beard or something? Creepy pasta. Oh man, good times here in the studio. This is Angel of Thy Night. Let's get on with the show. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. So what we're gonna do, okay, we're gonna start off simmer in our roast, okay? Now you want to use olive oil. Olive oil is one of the best options. We're going to take the lids off the crock pot, obviously. And I'm going to pour some olive oil on in here. Olive oil is getting very expensive. This shit's like gold, man. So you have to be careful. Don't use too much, just a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit, and I'm going to cover the bottom of the pan. Okay? At the same time I do that, I'm going to pour myself a shot of whiskey, you know what I'm saying? A man needs a shot of whiskey when he's cooking something like this, because I'm going to teach you guys two different types. We're making two different types of roast. It's not just one type of roast. You're getting double D's here tonight. Double R's, I'm sorry, double roast. You see where my mind's at, right? I'm telling you, once you put on the suit, it's all over, you know? I remember the days of Craigslist where women would post ads around Christmas time. They'd post ads being like, all I care about is you showing up in your boots, your shiny red, you know, your beard and your red suit. And I'm like, looking at my closet thinking, I got a Santa beard and a Santa hat. But at the time, I didn't have the whole outfit, so I was afraid to reply to this girl. I remember the good old days back when women actually were looking for Santa Clauses on Craigslist. And I thought, man, this could be fun, you know? Like I could go to some park and fucking stand there and meet some Santa fan on her knees, you know what I mean? No, but seriously, you're going to pour ourselves a shot here. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, this show's not for kids. If you think this Christmas show is for kids, it's not. It's for adults like you, who can handle a little bit of comedy. Because let's face it, we live in a time now where you're almost penalized for memeing, for laughing, for for having any kind of satire. All our freedoms are being taken away. In AngelOfThyNight Radio, we're never going to stand down to our freedom and our right to free radio. This is Lord Rick, and this shot is for you. This is 100 proof whiskey. My daughter-in-law actually bought it for me. And I'll tell you what it is before I take the shot. It's called Henry McKenna Single Barrel Kentucky Straight Bottled in Bond Bourbon Whiskey. It was barreled about 11, 12 years ago. This is good shit. Ah! Yeah! Alright, let's do this. I'll try not to blow up the studio, okay? Oh, yeah! There we go. Maybe I should put a lid on it. What do you guys think? Okay. I don't want my Santa suit to start on fire. It's all I need is oil hitting me in the suit and fucking burning through holes in the suit. But I'll tell you what. I just got back from amazing ghost towns. Did the Red Devil mining camp. Went to Lewis Canyon. Tenabo. And all these other great ghost towns. Visited this great wall that goes for 2 miles long. Climbed this mountain and walked along the wall. You know, and it was cold. We're talking below zero. Even during the day, sometimes 19 degrees, 12 degrees, and we were out in the middle of snowy mountains. I was off-roading in deep snow all day long. Got these new tires, they're great in snow, but I visited a bunch of ghost towns, and you know, I put on the suit and I left it on a couple hours. I forgot it was on. I was just like, you know, this suit's magical. You put the suit on and it keeps you warm. You put the beard on, it keeps you from getting the hantavirus. Because really, there's no in between the mustache and the mouth. It's all one piece, really. It's like these COVID masks. You wear these COVID masks, you know, to prevent COVID. Same thing. Why can't I wear this mask? All it says in the store is cover your nose and mouth, please. Okay. Okay. Can I come in the store? Can I come in the store? What the hell? Okay, so we got the oil is boiling. We're going to put it on for 4 minutes. No more than 4 minutes, okay? And here's what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because I have 4 roasts here. Each crock pot's getting 2. You have to understand something. You have to understand something about cooking in these crock pots, okay? When you cook meat, the longer you cook it, the more it's going to break down. We're going to break it down till it's almost shredded. Okay, I could take it out in a few hours and you could have like a beef stew type of dinner with vegetables and chunks of beef. But if I leave it in longer, so you know who could eat this? Your 100-year-old grandmother. It'll be that tender that she could eat it without her dentures. I'm just saying. Okay, so we want to leave it in like let's say I started about 10 a.m. on low tomorrow. 10 a.m. to about, let's say, 6, that's 8 hours. But I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to put the roast in at 8 or 9. I really want to slow cook it. Now the vegetables, what's going to happen, I'll tell you what we're going to do with the vegetables. And then tomorrow on Christmas Day, I'll show you guys how it's looking, how it's cooking. You guys will get to see the final, like the bread. We're going to make this, we're going to put in a bread. And I'm going to teach you how to make a topper for it, a nice little seasoned topper. I'm also going to teach you how to do the vegetables so they're not mushy. Because let's face it, vegetables get mushy and we don't want that for our roast. We want some tender vegetables. We don't want to pull out meat with a bunch of mush. Okay, this is a very special dinner. First time my older son's coming for Christmas in years. Probably 5 years. So it's very special, and I thought, what could I make as a Christmas dinner? I said roast. Roast is special. You put your heart, a roast takes a lot of work. You put your heart into it. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to go ahead. I have the roast right here. Okay, I'm going to pull it out. Now see, what I'm doing is I'm cutting everything into halves. Okay, watch. This is tender already. But we have 2 halves right here, okay? And then we have 2 more halves. This is probably 1 cut in half, like that one. So, you're going to put it on high. I'm going to say 5 minutes. Because I had it on low for a little bit, so we'll do 5 minutes on high, and then I'm going to flip them. We want to brown each side, okay? You don't have to do this step, because I never used to do this step, because my roast tastes so good. But if you want a crispy side, this is how you do it. And see, the nice thing about this meal is I'm pre-prepping this shit. I'm not going to have to cook much on Christmas Day. Yeah, I'll have to put the crock pots on in the morning. I'll have to put the pot of vegetables on. I'll have to put the bread in the oven. But it's real basic. Setting the table. It's not going to take up my entire Christmas to cook dinner because I'll already have done it on Christmas Eve. And I'm a busy guy because after this I got to go wrap gifts. After I wrap gifts, I got to get my sack and we got to fill presents. I got to go down to the office. There's a room full of gifts. 2 rooms full of gifts. We got to load the truck up multiple times, deliver the gifts. I might be out till 2, 3 in the morning delivering gifts. So if you can't blame me if I'm going to sit here and have a shot of whiskey. You can't blame me if I'm going to sit here and smoke a little bit of bud, right? But let's try to get the vegetables going, okay? While this is cooking. And you'll have to excuse me because I got quite the mess here. Okay, because we have a lot of shit going on. But since we're not using the crock pot right now, I can pull this forward and I can show you guys what I'm doing, what I'm going to be putting into this roast, okay, vegetable-wise. Here's the thing. I bought fresh vegetables. I didn't buy canned vegetables or anything like that. If you're going to make a roast, you might as well go fresh. Don't buy canned shit, I mean, these are fresh peas. They were packaged. They're fresh from the farm. They get sent to our grocery store. So what I usually do I don't care how fresh something is, rinse it off. You never know if there's pesticides. You never know if there's bugs, you just don't know. You don't know. This, I mean, fruit and vegetables grows outdoors the last I checked. Well, you can grow it indoors. Might cost you a lot. So you got a couple more minutes and then I can switch sides. This is awesome, isn't it? So you're going to run the water. I have a sprayer. It sprays pretty hard, so just make sure that everything is rinsed. And these are sugar snap peas. Throw them on in. It doesn't matter the order you put your vegetables in, okay? That's the sugar snap peas. Next, again, fresh baby carrots. Okay, these are growing, a lot of these vegetables are growing here in Nevada. Not all the time, but a lot of times, Nevada's a farming state. So a lot of times our produce comes from a local farm here. And I mean, you can buy baby carrots just about at any grocery store. And that's what I recommend. Unless you want to buy fresh carrots, you could chop them up. The problem is, I got my fingers all banged up climbing rocks and hiking this past weekend in ghost towns, and I'm like, hell no. I will already buy the carrots, the baby carrots. And we want them to be soft when we eat them, not crispy. So they're going to have to cook a while as well. And what we'll do is we'll show you, because we're going to have two types of vegetables. What we're going to do is cook, we're going to slow cook it in a pot on here for like 45 minutes, and then tomorrow. And then what I will do is take half of the vegetables, and I'll put some in this crock pot, I'll put some in this crock pot about an hour before it's time so they soften up a little, and that way somebody has a choice. They could just have a piece of meat in the pot. I'll have a little bit of pot roast and a less tender vegetable, or they could have tender vegetables with their roast. It just allows for options if you're having family over, because everyone's different. So I'm throwing all the carrots in here. This is good, this is good. Let them rinse. Let it rinse. Because like I say, you don't know if there's pesticides. You don't want to get sick, you don't want to get cancer down the road. I'm serious. Where do you think cancer, all this cancer that comes up in today's society, it comes up more because of the shit they put in our food, the pesticides on the vegetables. Rinse off your carrots. It doesn't matter if they've been washed and they're clean and the store puts them on the shelf or in a bag. There still could be pesticides on them. So clean your carrots. Clean your carrots. I'm going to flip this because it rained, but you guys didn't hear it because I had it shut off. Look at that sizzling sound. It's awesome, man. This is like, I don't even know how to describe the sound. And the smells, oh my God, unbelievable. Rinse off the carrots, just a little bit. You have to overdo it. And throw our carrots on in here. Now you got sugar snap peas and carrots. Next, same thing with the mushrooms. These are fresh from the produce section. Any mushrooms will work. White portobello, these are white mushrooms. You know, whatever. White portobellos, baby portobello, whatever you want to use, whatever kind of mushrooms you like. We got about 2 minutes on here, and then we'll put one in each crock pot, okay? Put our mushrooms in the big pot. Thing is, you don't have to follow my recipe if you don't want, but you can follow my recipe. You can. My recipes are very reliable, and if you want to produce the best results, you can follow my recipe, but you can also tweak it and make your own. I have friends that follow my recipes and then they tweak them a little, and that's cool too. You know, I'm always willing to learn and teach. It goes both ways. Next, we have celery. And I'm going to have to cut the celery. Obviously, this is fresh celery. And there's a way to do this. Or there's a way I do it. Just make sure you have good knives, man. I have some good knives in this house. We're going to rinse the celery first. About 30 seconds on simmering the beef. Cut some celery. We'll cut it all at once so it's easier. Watch how I do it. Okay, these are done. One roast in here. Oh man, I just got hit in the face with oil. See what I'm talking about? Okay, so you can see. I don't know if I can show you guys it or not. Ah, man. Woo! That is hot. Look at that. You can probably see it better back here, but it's nice and brown now. It's not pink on the outside, so you only want to do it for 4 or 5 minutes on high in olive oil. Now I lost some oil cooking. We need to be careful. Put it on low for a bit so it's not splattering. Just a little bit more in here fresh. Okay, what we're going to do next, same thing. Two sides. Doesn't matter what side you do it, but you got, see how it's sizzling? Again, four minutes on high. 4 or 5 is high on my oven. 4 or 5. So I'm going to continue to cut the celery. See how fast I am? I'll try not to cut off any fingers or toes. Well, I don't have my feet up on the table, thank God, huh? Celery is a great additive for roast. It gives it a little bit more flavor, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you get too far down in the celery, it might be a little purple. Just stop cutting right there when it turns purple, okay? Look, fresh celery. Oh. Things are looking really good. Okay. Oh, God. Don't be afraid to mix it up. Okay, these vegetables are all going to be cooked together anyways. So we got them all mixed. We're not done yet. The final vegetable that we're going to add is red potatoes. Now I'm looking, I may not have room for all the potatoes. I'll probably have to get a second pot, which is okay. Which is okay. As long as you season them the same, you can put them on the same amount of time, you know. So it doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start washing these potatoes. I'll have to cut them, so I may cut out a segment of the show and just have them already cut, because I don't want to bore you cutting potatoes. Besides, I always lose a finger when I cut potatoes, and you guys really don't need to see me lose a finger. And you make sure at Christmas when you're cooking, you got that bong and you got that booze ready, because I'll tell you, you're going to need it, especially if you got family coming over for the holidays. Hopefully it's nothing like National Lampoon's Vacation, Christmas Vacation, huh? But if life gets too tough, go for the bong. And the nice thing about the bong is it keeps, see how the bong protects your beard? It's a protector. So use the bong, not the pipe. I was using the pipe earlier, I almost burnt the whole beard down to nothing. Woo! We're cooking, baby. This is off, so we're going to turn it. As soon as I find my... Here they are, my trusty tongs. Okay, 4 more minutes on that. I got the vegetables cleaning up. Time for me to get out of this, get up and really get to some cooking, because in a little bit we're gonna be getting to the meat of things, if you know what I'm saying. I want you guys to tell me though, what is wrong with this picture? What is wrong with this picture? What is wrong with this picture? Can someone tell me? You know what gets me? I can afford $2,000 in gifts, but I can't afford a Santa suit that at least is my size. The Santa suit's for kids. I'm wearing a kid's Santa suit. I'm trying to fit into it, man. I'm bulging fucking out of it. This Santa suit is not made for a 6'2" Santa, okay? I was down in Virginia City wearing my boots. You know, I have these combat boots or whatever. They're comfortable, they're waterproof. I wear them for certain hikes and at ghost towns. But I'm walking around, you know, and everybody's like, hey Santa, all day long. People waving, beeping their horns, everything else. And I was like, man, they really like Santa Claus. No, the reason why they're beeping their horns is because of this. Because I'm wearing a goddamn fucking dress. You know, perfect for fucking Christmas time dancing, man. I'm not sure if I'm Santa or I'm a fucking gnome tonight. A goddamn gnome. Or elf, or whatever the hell they call him. Elf. I'll tell you what, this is not any normal Christmas show, folks. So, time to change the get-up. And I'm going to do it all night long. You're listening to AngelOfThyNight Radio. This is live from Carson City, Nevada. Sometimes it's good to be free of that thing. This is more like it, bitches. Bah! Humbug! Alright. So we got about a minute left, and then we'll put the final meat on simmer in the olive oil. This is looking good, man. This is looking good. To Odin! Bottoms up, bitches. Woo! By tonight, this is going to put hair on my chest. And I'm going to need it because it's like below zero and I'm delivering gifts in the middle of the night. You know how cold it gets up here in these mountains? At 2 in the morning, dude, your nipples will freeze off, Santa suit or no Santa suit. So I'm letting this simmer. And I guess I have some time for some AngelOfThyNight Radio. You know, I went to a doctor's appointment recently. Okay, I got this girl stalking me online. She knows how many cats I have, how many dogs I have, how many chickens I have. She knows that I'm a paranormal vet. She just knows all this shit about me. And she's always, I come in a doctor's office, she'll be asking me, how those kitties been doing? How's your home? It says address. Dude, this girl is like, I got this nurse heavily stalking me. She goes, and she tries to take my blood pressure. And she gets my arm and she pulls it. Like on the back of her ass cheek. And my hand's on her ass. What the fuck do you do when your hand's on a nurse's ass? There's nothing you can do. She purposely put my hand on her ass. This woman knows where I live, knows how many cats I have, how many dogs I have, and I was brutally sexually assaulted at my doctor's office. And then I remembered the old statement. You can't rape the willing. But anyways, the meat has rained. So we don't want to cook it any longer. We're not out in the mood to burn the meat. So what I'm going to do is just now this piece of meat. Whoa. This piece of meat's being a little tough. And it's not browning as easy. So I'm going to go ahead. And I'm going to put it 3 minutes probably on each side. The other piece of meat had a nice crust that browned on the outside. This piece does not. Now these are different types of roast. You know, you have different, I'm cooking different types and I'm putting them all together. They'll all be tender when it's done. It doesn't matter what type of meat. I could put steak in here. I could even make a cheap steak that you get at your store. You know, they have cheap beef rounds and shit, I could put a bunch of those in there, and you could put 6 or 7 of them in there for like $8 from Walmart or whatever, and I could slow cook them and it would still come out the same almost. But roast has a distinctive taste when it's slow cooked, like no other meat. So you would be able to tell, but it does. But no matter what meat I put in the crock pot, you're probably going to enjoy it because I slow cook a lot of my meats. Sometimes I cook on the grill, but you know, a lot of times I'll either marinate them or I'll slow cook them in a marinade that I make, which I'll turn into a homemade gravy. It's COVID season. I had COVID. I know I had it. You know, Tammy came home one day from work. She had a fever, and you know, she didn't feel good for about a week, and at work it was going around where she worked. They all wear a mask, but it doesn't matter. There's meetings, there's people that have to talk in each other's offices. There's just a lot of shit going on. So she came home, she brought it to me. I didn't know I had it, and then I was like, I better get tested. By the time I got tested, it said negative. However, from what I remember of having it, I was tired for a couple days where I really just napped all day long. I remember I went out to go do a job, and I was doing the job, and I stood up and had these hot flashes, and all of a sudden I almost like passed out. It happened to me like twice in one day where I had these hot flashes, I almost fainted. Common symptom of COVID, sometimes people just drop on the floor and faint. You know, because it gets up in your membrane of your nose and your brain, and it was up in my ears, and I had a headache for 7 days. And now I still get headaches. They're pretty bad ever since I've had the COVID. Because a lot of times it can get in your brain and it can cause issues where it ages your brain for 10 years. I don't know if any damage has been done. I know that week I jogged, I played basketball, I shot at the park some hoops, that kind of thing. So between eating garlic every day and the exercise, getting moving around and my circulatory system moving around, it's really good in fighting COVID because it doesn't allow it to make its way down into your lungs, which is where the death occurs a lot of times. You can't breathe, you know, it ends up being a very sad scenario. And so I didn't go to the hospital, I wasn't on any ventilator, I didn't have a cough, I didn't lose my sense of smell, I didn't get severe symptoms. I had some cold chills, I almost fainted a couple times, was tired, and then had an ongoing headache all week. When I took my ibuprofen, the headaches kind of simmered down for a bit. So, and that's probably why I didn't have a fever, because I take ibuprofen for pain 3 times a day, over 2,000 milligrams of it for my fibromyalgia and my chronic pain and my inflammation of my joints and all that. So this is ready to go into the crock pot, so we're going to put it in the crock pot. I may flip it again. Oh yeah, there's a crust developing on it. Very nice. Just a couple minutes. That's all, like 2 minutes. Because it's really, I mean, it's really going right now. But COVID has made our lives all hard. You know, and I kind of like the whole mask thing, because women look more beautiful with a mask on. It almost like obscures them a little bit, you know, so you kind of guess what they look like. Oh, it's like that girl's, I mean, masks bring out women's eyes, so you can see pretty eyes. So when you see pretty eyes and long hair, you think, hell, she's hot. Well, that wasn't the case. I went to Walmart and I was Christmas shopping. I said, baby. I get outside, her mask comes off, dude. She was fucking missing teeth and was a fucking crackhead. Like, everything up here was like, for everything down here was like, ah. You know, I wasn't fucking huffing and puffing and panting then, or drooling for that matter. I was getting in my truck, I was driving away, I was like, I will never go to Walmart again. What can I say? You know, I try to do a little, that's why I do my Christmas shopping online. That's exactly why. And what's this about virtual dates? I'm on all these apps, they're promoting virtual dating. I've never heard of virtual dating in my life. It's like now it's like they're promoting cyber sex, being on webcams, showing off your shit like, hey, let's play show and tell. You show me your boobie, I show you my wee-wee. That's exactly what it's fucking like. You know, here's the thing. I understand COVID's bad. There are risks and everything. I play basketball a couple times a week. There was always that risk I could have gotten it from basketball, but I did it. And, you know, most of the time people get COVID because it's a relative that brings it home because that relative has to work or is out and about. My job doesn't require working a lot around anybody, really. I'm self-employed, too. So it's a little bit easier, but when you're, when you work in the medical field or in offices, you're around COVID constantly. So let me go ahead and put this in here. Oh man, sometimes I lose things too. So 4 minutes. We're going to put this on for 4 minutes as well. This here is one and broil. It's a small cut. I wanted to add it to both meats. Okay. This is top cut of meat right here. It's marbled, it has very little fat in it. And we're just going to brown both sides. And it's tender too. I mean, I just cut right through it with my knife. Be careful not to get splashed with the olive oil. It's really hot right now. It's the only time I will have the stove on tonight. Tomorrow, when there's part 2 of our show, I'll put it on, I'll put the crock pots on, and have it cooking, and I'll show you how long to cook the vegetables, and show you what they look like, and then I'll show you the second step. Because right now, as it stands, this roast is going to be cooking all day by itself, just the meat, because we want the meat to absorb most of the juices. Then we'll top it off with our vegetable mix from the pot. And the thing is, there's a lot of meat in here. These are big crock pots, but these crock pots, there's going to be 3-piece slabs of meat in each crock pot. So I'm only going to have room for a few scoops of vegetables in each, which is going to add to the flavor. But going back to COVID, it is something to be afraid of, but not to be afraid of. I thought when I did it, I had all these bad thoughts. Oh no, I'm going to end up dying, go to the hospital, this and that. And you got to understand, it's 1% of the population that passes, and it sucks. The only good part about it is I don't have to get to see, when I go to Walmart, I don't have to see people's ugly mugs, right? So there is a positive to it. But it is a very sad scenario that's happening. And so many are losing their lives. So I consider myself blessed and lucky to be able to cook this Christmas dinner because I did get sick. And like you or anybody else, I could have got it more severe and died. But a few key things to fight COVID, a lot of garlic. So we're going to use a lot of garlic today. A lot of garlic. I cook food daily. I don't really eat out a lot. Maybe twice a week. But daily I mainly cook. Maybe 4 days a week I cook meals. 2 days a week I eat out. And in 1 day a week I usually eat a pizza or a TV dinner. Because I don't have a big family to cook for anymore. And so I try to eat healthy, but I try to eat smaller meals, less like it's the holidays like this. I cook. I'm Italian. Why wouldn't I cook? Right? But anyways, garlic will fight COVID. There is something in garlic as like a plus 13 in fighting the COVID cell or whatever. So yeah, it's gonna, if you have a lot of garlic in your bloodstream and in your system, it's gonna help fight COVID. If you feel you got COVID, jog, do some kind of exercises. Probably not with other people, you don't want to spread it, but Go shoot hoops by yourself at the court for a couple hours. Run around the court 10 times, that kind of thing. Jog. Sweat that shit out of your system. Take ibuprofen for the fever, obviously. Keep the fever down. Those are just some tips with COVID. You can do them. You don't have to do them. I don't care. I'm just telling you what I did, what helped me. And don't be afraid to take 1,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C or zinc. That'll help too. If you do all those things, if you get COVID, chances are your symptoms are going to be very mediocre to hardly any. And that's what you want, because you don't want your symptoms to get so severe because you didn't do nothing about it, or you weren't prepared for it, and then you end up in the hospital on a ventilator. I got friends that have been in comas. I know people that have died from this. So it's not a joke. But this year, 2020, man, I mean, what else could go wrong? It's just been a crazy year. We've almost had dictatorship, the loss of democracy, a pandemic, almost World War III. So many different things have happened this year. A major election. I mean, I don't think we'll ever live a year like this. I don't ever remember a year like this in my entire life. And I've been trying to live it. And how I live it is in the outdoors on paranormal expeditions. And I keep laughing because, you know, I lost my paranormal show because of COVID. But at the same time, you know, they keep putting clowns on these paranormal shows. Actors, actresses. It's an insult to me. Because here is a guy who takes his truck off-road at 11,000 feet up in the snow to some ghost town or mine that's haunted or full of fucking Bigfoot running around, and nobody wants to do a show about it because I won't be a puppet for a TV network. So we'll continue to produce our own material. By popular demand, AngelOfThyNight Cooking and Good Eats with Lord Rick is back as of tonight. And we thank you for watching AngelOfThyNight Radio. And we are cooking Lord Rickmas Crazy Roast. Well, we could just call it Father Christmas Roast, right? Or the Ghost of Christmas Roast. How about the Ghost of Christmas Roast? The Ghost of Rickmas Roast. I like the sound of that. The Ghost of Rickmas Roast. Because once you eat it, you're like a fucking ghost. You're starving. You have to check to see if they're alive because they're sitting on the couch after eating a roast all fucking conked out and shit. Okay, so a couple minutes on this and then we're done cooking on the stove with the olive oil. I'd say maybe 3 minutes. But everything's coming along. Everything's coming along. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut the camera. I'm going to cut our show. I'm going to go ahead and go on break. When we get back, I'm going to go ahead and I'll have some fresh potatoes for you guys. I wanted to show you, I have these red potatoes, okay? Now, I'm a skin-on kind of guy, you know? Skin-on. I love the skin. When I eat chicken, I eat the skin. I go crazy. I season the shit out of that skin, and when I put it in the oven and it comes out crispy, I'm like, nah, give me the skin. I'm one of those guys, give me the skin. So the skin's staying on the potatoes. And they will cook in the pot. We'll probably cook them 45 minutes on maybe medium, and then we'll add all these beautiful vegetables into the pot roast maybe an hour before I pull it out, so they're not too soft, they're just right. So good. So good. You know what I'm saying? That's the saying. So, when I cut the potatoes, I'm just going to cut them in chunks, and I'll show you guys what I mean by chunks, okay? This is kind of like this roast is like a stew. So we want to be able to cut the potatoes. We don't want them to be so big that Grandma chokes on them, okay? We want to cut them in kind of tiny squares. They're not squares, but whatever shape you want to cut them in. I don't care if you cut them in the penis shape. Just make sure they're not too big because, you know, I have one of my step-grandkids coming over tomorrow, and she's just a little girl. And so I can't see her eating a potato that's bigger than her mouth trying to shove it in. I don't want her to choke. So but it'll be tender and soft. The potatoes will definitely be much softer, so it doesn't really matter the size, because they'll just, you know, they'll melt in your mouth. But like that size is fine. That size is pretty good, you know, just medallion sized. And that's gonna go in here. Okay, and I'm gonna cut more potatoes. I'll be right back after this break. You're listening to Lord Rick, and we're live from Carson City, Nevada, and this is AngelOfThyNight Radio. And I am Lord Rick, the Bad Santa. And no, I'm not at your service. But by popular demand, folks, I kept getting emails. Rick, you should do a cooking show. COVID has just brought us down. We need something to cheer us up. So this is my gift to you guys. Happy holidays. I'm going to show you how to make a spectacular pre-cooked dinner. And all you have to do is just put it in the, put it in the oven. We're going to bake the ravioli, but put it in the oven. Put it on the stove. Turn on the crock pots. And you could go outside. You could play with your kids. Come back in after a snowball war and have hot cocoa. You know, I'm always trying to figure out ways to spend more time with my family, and when I slow cook meals, that's one way of getting around that, is I can do that because I let it cook for itself, and I can pre-prep everything so that I'm not wasting my day cooking rather than spending time with my loved ones. Make sense? Makes sense, right? So we're going to turn this off. See how it's sizzling? See how it is? I'll show you how it looks. So you can see the crust. See how nice light brown crust on it from the olive oil. And we're going to throw it in here. Now that's a lot of meat. You don't want to put your oil down the sink. It'll clog the garbage disposal or the pipes. Put it in a jar, put it in a paper towel, throw it out, whatever you got to do. A coffee filter, but make sure you don't put it down the sink. I have a lot of olive oil in here. I just simmered 6 cuts of meat. And we have 3 cuts in here, 3 cuts in here. It's a lot of meat. But you got to understand something. I have my son, his wife, and then the little girl, which is my daughter-in-law's daughter, myself, Tammy. So there's 5 of us there. And normally, when Tammy and I are alone and we have a roast, by the next morning for lunch, the roast is gone. Even though I put a couple cuts of meat. So I know it can go very fast, because what happens is that we're going to be slow cooking this all day. And if there's any fat, the fat will cook out. And what you'll have left is meat, but it will shrink down considerably. So even if it looks like a lot of meat in the crock pots right now, this will all be very, very tender, very small, tiny pieces. And we'll have some kind of homemade marinades or gravies I'll be making as the meat's cooking. And I'll teach you how to make those. You'll have to follow my recipe, and it'll work delightfully, and you guys will. That's all you'll want to do every week is make a roast. You'll be like, hey, I'm buying a cut of meat and I'm going to cook it the way Rick does it. And if you do it the way I tell you to do it, you'll be impressed every single time with your own cooking. So will the company that you keep. And I'll tell you what, you want to win. I'm going to tell you, men, because I got a lot of guy friends looking for girlfriends around Christmas and women. I'm going to give you a good tip. You cook like this, you could get any woman. You could get any woman. Well, not any woman. I got some funny stories to tell you about women when we come back from our break, okay? And again, this Christmas show is for adults 18 and over, so if you're not 18, skedaddle, because this show is about to get a little bit more raunchy. You're listening to Lord Rick of AngelOfThyNight Radio. I'll be back with the potatoes. So the potatoes are cut. We have a really good mixture here. All right, we're not done yet, okay? Yeah, you gotta mix it really good because you want all the vegetables to cook. But what we have here is sugar snap peas, carrots, red potatoes, white mushrooms, and celery. Okay, we're not done yet. There's one more ingredient we're going to be putting in here. You guys know what that is? It's onion. We're going to put a sweet Vidalia and sweet purple onion on in the mix. And we're going to make it a little more interesting. We want it, remember, we want to get the most flavor for the roast. So the more vegetables and seasonings you use, the more flavorful it's going to be, and that's just the truth. You can also see the cuts of meat. See how they're brown on one side? Look at that. Just that thin brown crust. That's what really tops off a good roast. That's the secret to making a good roast. A little bit of olive oil for about 4 or 5 minutes on high. It's all you need it per side. And just saute it a little. Alright everybody, we're back from break. Oh my god. You have no idea how good it feels to take this off. I'm like bursting out of my belt, man. This is the only strip show you're getting on AngelOfThyNight Radio. Do not think any other ideas, bitches. Because I know how you pervs think. You'll be like, nah. You'll be like, Rick's gonna take it all off. Hell no. Hell no. I went to Sassafras and I ate too much Nutella cake. They had this Nutella cake. And it was a hazelnut cake. But it had hazelnuts in it, smothered in fucking Nutella frosting. That thing was like 2,000, 3,000 calories. That's a meal. You could eat that piece of cake and be good for a couple days, you know. And I'm like, after I eat this big dinner, I had this big seafood dinner, and I'm like, give me a piece of that Nutella cake. You know, by the time I walked out here, I had like 5,000 fucking calories. No wonder why I'm fucking Santa Claus for Christmas. Jesus. Not really. You know, I'm proud of myself this year. I know that was a bad year for a lot of people, but I lost 80 pounds. Right now, I mean, you guys probably couldn't even guess my weight by looking at me, but I can tell you right now I'm about 183 pounds. And I can get away with eating cake like that because I'm very active. I spent the weekend off-roading and hiking for 3 days in the cold. I had basketball Wednesday, played 2 hours of just game after game after game after game at the Mac Center. By the time I'm done there, I run a mile or so, work up a good sweat. So I'm able to eat the things I want, drink what I want, and kind of do what I want because I'm an active individual. That's what it comes down to. And what a lot of people don't understand is, yeah, I'm a paranormal investigator. I study the paranormal. We still do investigations for the last 20 years. But I fall in between a paranormal investigator and an urban explorer because I do like to explore abandoned buildings. I do like to photograph rusty remnants, that kind of thing. And I've always been into urban exploring, and you know, that's something I've been doing for a couple decades. And if there's not going to be any paranormal available to me, I will definitely take the urban exploration path any day of the week. You know, I went to like 12 ghost towns this past weekend. I went out of town. I stayed at Battle Mountain. It's this historic little town in the center of Nevada, surrounded by mountains, 360 degrees. Very cold there. Very cold. 9 degrees cold. 6 degrees cold. Snow on the ground. A foot in some areas. But we took this road out to the mountains near Lewis Canyon. We did a bunch of little ghost towns and mines, and it's just beautiful, but we were hiking with snow up to our knees, so it's definitely a little bit different than here. But we are getting snowpack in the Sierra Nevadas and around Lake Tahoe here. So skiing, snowboarding is becoming a big thing up here. It's why a lot of people move to the Lake Tahoe area, but it's just getting so busy and there's just not enough housing here. You know, I was saying we're lucky for Christmas if we have a pot to piss in. And I know I joke about that, but the GOP has denied us getting our stimulus checks. And the government says, hey, you're only worth $600. Then the government says, hey, you're worth $2,000. And then the government says, hey, you get shit. Merry Christmas, we're all going home. Fuck the rest of the American people. I'm not big on government. I'm not big on government at all. I never have been. Never been a fan of our government. I never agree with how they do things. A lot of things date back to 300 years ago and don't make sense. government's gotten too big, too many laws, too many people telling you what to do, just like COVID. Nobody knows what's right, what's wrong, what works, what don't. Like me, I play basketball all summer long. I didn't outside, outdoors, in a nice breezy air was very well circulated. And none of us got COVID. None of us. And we had like 10 guys playing twice a week on basketball. Nobody knows what works. You know, everybody's just got a different method and a different way of doing things. And who's to say what's right or wrong? And sadly, we play our team plays at the Mac Center, but it's only 3 per court. You got to wear your mask playing. It's hard when you play 3 on a court because you really can't play a game. You can play a game of 21, but it gets old after a while because you actually want to play 2 on 2, and so what's one extra person? But they won't allow one extra person on the court, and so I always have to order extra courts for my team, and a lot of us don't get to play real games together during basketball practice. Because yes, I still run the basketball team, but we don't even know this year if our team will be playing. We don't know if we'll be playing football, lacrosse, hockey, basketball. Sports pretty much is done for out here as far as I'm concerned, unless they can get this COVID under check. And I just want to take a moment of silence for the 3,000 people that died tonight on Christmas Eve from the COVID. It's a shame, and you know, I'm stuck with it for life too. You have to think, the virus was in me. It's still in me, even though I'm no longer sick and I tested negative. It's in my brain, and it'll be in my brain forever unless they can find a cure. And I don't know if there'll ever be a cure for this other than get vaccinated once a year like a flu shot, and that's it. You know, just kind of keep it away till it eventually gets eradicated and there's herd immunity. Anyhow, you guys can see how I was cutting the onions. And when I say take a moment of silence, I don't mean cut up onions and start crying. I mean really take a moment of silence and be thankful that you're here for Christmas. Be thankful that you're here for, should I say, the holidays. That you can sit here and you can cook a nice dinner for the people that you live with or your family. And I know you shouldn't have family over. I know you shouldn't. But that's a personal choice I think everybody has a right to make. If you feel that the virus, if you don't care if you get the virus because you feel you're in good health and you just want to get it done and over with, that's your choice. But just remember, when you go out in public, it's important to wear a mask to keep other people from getting sick. But if your family decides, hey, we want to get together and have a Christmas dinner, I don't see nothing wrong with a small dinner. I'm not saying have 20 people, or I'm just having my son, his wife, and kid over who I had dinner with, and they came over a week ago just to spend some time with me. So we cut the onions. Just be blessed for the loved ones that you have, the people that your friends, your family, your loved ones. I'm blessed to be able to host a show tonight. I got sick. Who knows, in 10 years I could have dementia or Alzheimer's because I could have had my brain damage from the COVID. It was in my eardrum and it was in my head. That's why I had headaches. I may have permanent brain damage for the rest of my life. I don't know. It's just, we don't know enough about this disease. But I won't hide. That's what I'm saying to you. I did not hide. I continued to live my life as I could, the best I could live it. Even with my mask on, playing basketball with my mask. Just try to do your best in life. And so I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give you one hell of a meal for Christmas. You guys are going to thank me next Christmas. You guys watch us next Christmas. Prep everything the night before. Trust me, it's going to make your life a lot easier and less stressful. You're not going to want to sneak out of the house, gentlemen, to go get a handy-dandy by the whore down the street. Okay, because you're going to be less stressed because you'll be like, you know, you're going to be like, you're going to tell your wife, you'll be like, hey honey, I got this. And all you're going to do is plug in the cord in the wall and flip a fucking switch and you're going to smile. And you'll be like, I don't have to sneak out and get a handy-dandy due to the stress factor. Here on Angel of the Night Radio, we do things a little different. Who's Angel of the Night Radio? I'm Angel of the Night Radio. So let's cut these onions. Okay, fast. Cut them fast, cut them hard, try not to lose a fucking finger, try not to cry, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, these onions are strong. But we got sweet Vidalia, we got, see the purple ones? I love the sweet purple ones. But I also have sweet yellow. You can use sweet yellow onions. These are sweet Vidalias. Sweet purple onion, and I like sweet onion. It really is good for flavor in the roast and the vegetables that you're cooking with. And see, these onions, when they cook down, technically they're almost non-visible. You're not going to really see them in the roast. You're not going to see them in the vegetable mix. And even if you cut them in big slices, it doesn't matter, because once they cook down, they're strips. They just break apart in tiny little pieces. I love onions. So I'm going to put onions in it. I don't care if I'm gassy on Christmas. Okay, we're all relatives. We're all the same blood. It doesn't matter if you toot your horn and, you rip a few. I mean, you could just blame it on the eggnog, right? And say, oh, it's the eggnog, You could be like, this is good eggnog. And fucking rip one or whatever, Whatever you decide to do. I gotta watch putting onions on the ground because Winston's with me tonight, and onions are not good for dogs. So I'm not gonna cut up in too small because it will cook up. But we have our sweet onions. I'm gonna put a little bit of each, half of each in each pot, because we're gonna stir it up. We're gonna stir it up, mix it all up, and you're not really gonna see the onions once they're mixed in, because the onions are just a small percentage of what everything else is in here. I'm going to slice the purple onion in slices like this, round slices, and then I'll do halves. And so we're almost about to make the marinades. Pretty soon I'll start the baked ravioli. But this is going to make your life a lot easier. Because you should always prep. You don't ever want to prep last minute Christmas dinner. I mean, I got a lot of friends who are like, oh, I'm cooking. I mean, all day long they're just cooking. And they'll film on their phone, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But that doesn't do any good. If you spend a holiday cooking, then that means you're really not spending time with your son, your daughter, your grandfather, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, your girlfriend, your second girlfriend, your wife, your third wife, your second wife, whatever, you know what I'm saying. You can't spend time with people if you're busy cooking in the kitchen, slaving in the kitchen all day, barefoot and pregnant. I'm pregnant by pie. Damn it. Pie. Pie did this to me. I'm a fucking pie victim. Pecan pie, pumpkin pie, Dutch apple pie. So I got it all sliced up and diced. These are great knives. Last year I gave them to Tammy for Christmas, and you know what? I'm using them for Christmas dinner tonight. I'm cutting them up. Hard to believe it's Christmas Eve 2020. Like I said, I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be with my son tomorrow. I'm blessed to be with Tammy and the people that I love. I'm blessed to be able to host a show. A lot of people ask for a cooking show, and I'm like, well, I can do a cooking show because it's a gift that keeps on giving. You guys can watch it over and over and over, and you can learn recipes. There's multiple recipes going on. So if you don't want to learn how to make the roast, you might want to learn about how to make the vegetable medley. And if you don't want to learn about the vegetable medley, you can learn about how to make the baked ravioli. But there's something in this show for everybody. You might just be here for the laughs and shits and the fucking giggles. I don't know. I'm going to throw, check this out, I'm going to throw a handful of onions, purple onions, in with the roast here. Another handful here. And then I'm going to throw the rest in the pots here. And the white Vidalias, I'm going to do a couple of the same thing. Because I have a lot of onion here. And it's just for flavoring. Just a little bit of flavoring. But now we got purple onions, white Vidalia onions, sweet onions, I should say, and all we have to do is really mix it up good. Now, if I wanted, I could add broccoli and cauliflower. Remember I was talking I could go to broccoli and cauliflower and all that? I'm probably not going to do that because our pots are full. And the problem is, if I don't, I'm going to put these on the stove because I'm going to show you guys how to season these, and then we can put these away. And then they'll be done, okay? I had to take the suit off. It was getting really hot in here. I'm going to need another monster tonight. I'm going to need some of this, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, we got ourselves our vegetables, okay? Very easy to mix this all up. And we're going to put lids on these. And we're going to stow them in the fridge tonight. When they're ready to go on, they'll go on the stove. And I'll start them probably both on medium. And I'll probably cook them for like 45 minutes to an hour. And then what I'll do is I'll take a couple scoops of the vegetables, and I'll put a few scoops in each about an hour before it's done. That way if people want some vegetables that have been stewing with the roast, they can have it. Some people don't like their vegetables with the roast. I've had people come eat a roast, they'll take the meat only. They won't touch the vegetables. So if you cook the vegetables on the side, they're more likely to get a cupina full and put it on their plate. You know what I'm saying? A cupina full. But it looks good. It's a nice medley, it's a nice mix. And so here what we have is mushrooms, celery, sugar snap peas, red potatoes, 2 types of sweet onions, and carrots. And that's a good mix. That's a good mix for a roast. And of course, like I say, you could put broccoli and cauliflower. You could get really extensive. I think I have a bigger pot than this. And I could end up putting all kinds of other vegetables. The problem is that when you have little kids, grandkids, or kids, they don't like to eat certain vegetables. Then they start getting picky, like, what is this? What is that? You know, they'll hit a bean, they'll hit a broccoli, they'll hit a piece of cauliflower, and then they don't want to eat the rest of the plate. So we definitely don't want that happening. So we'll stick with what we got. We got the mushrooms, the celery, the red potatoes, the baby carrots, the 2 types of sweet onions, the sugar snap peas. It's a good mix. Now I'm going to show you what's going to happen here, okay? I'm just trying to mix it the best I can before I put seasonings into this, okay? Because we're going to go ahead and I'm going to season the vegetables. And I'm going to show you how you season it, okay? And make sure when you cook this, you cook it on with the lid. Because when you put the butter and the oil in here, you don't want it to go out in the form of steam. You want it to be able to stay in here so it can steam all the vegetables and flavor all the vegetables. So here's what we're going to do, okay? Herbs and spices. Do you have to use herbs and spices? No. Okay? But I'm going to put herbs and spices into everything here. So marjoram, oregano, thyme, rosemary, savory, basil, and sage. It's a lot of different herbs. Okay, you don't have to put a lot, you can put a little bit. Okay, the herbs are also, notice I'm putting the herbs in the pot roast. Not too much, just a, because it's going to be in the vegetables too, but we're going to put some herbs on the vegetables, and put some herbs in the pot roast. Both pot roasts will have herbs. Okay? The amount you guys decide to use is up to you. We're going to get to the next ingredient, okay? This is granulated garlic. It's just garlic granulated. It's dried out. You know, it's not fresh garlic in the fridge. But I use tons of this. So this flows through my veins. So if I got COVID, that's probably why it was mild, because I eat this daily. Okay, granulated garlic. A lot comes out. Be careful. These are the bigger bins. I put my finger over the top, but just put this on top like this. Okay? Same thing with here. Same thing with here. And then the meat too. Put it all over the meat. Don't be afraid. I'm going to teach you how to make the gravies and marinades tonight. And it'll just sit in the refrigerator. Easy peasy. Okay? Crushed red pepper. I'm not a huge fan of black pepper. You can't really see it, so you could put too much. You can see the red pepper. Put a little bit of red pepper in. Just a little dime. in each. The roast, these are twin roasts, but they're two different kinds. But you're going to put a little bit of red pepper in each. Just gives it a little bit of spice. Not a lot, just a little bit of spice, okay? Onion powder. Onion powder is great to put on meats. So in the crock pot, put a lot of onion powder. In the vegetables, put the onion powder in because it tastes great with the potatoes that are in there. Onion powder, onion powder, onion powder, onion powder, onion powder, onion powder. Alright, I'm just fucking around. Probably because I drank too much. But anyways, put the onion powder on in. It's fine to joke around, right? Sometimes all of us in life need a good joke, we need a good laugh. Oh man, I'm so thirsty. See what wearing that Santa suit does? Garlic powder. It's the same thing as a granulated garlic, only difference is now this is a finer powder. That'll cook even more into the meats and the potatoes. But I'm going to put onion powder or garlic powder on into the crock pots as well. Notice I'm putting the same ingredients into the crock pots, but guess what? When I make this, when I make the gravies and the sauces for this, there'll be two different types. It's just that the herbs I want to use are very similar. Because herbs to me, I'm an herbal man, and I use a lot of herbs when I cook. And Tammy says, you season the stove, you season the counters. She's right, I season everything. If I would have been wearing that Santa beard, I'd have been seasoning that too. I'd have been delivering gifts tonight, and there would have been a green piece of basil in my beard. And someone would be like, you got a booger in your beard. It's like, that's not a booger, it's a piece of sage or basil, damn it. From my cooking show at Angel on the radio. Then they'll know I'm not Santa Claus. Because Santa Claus wouldn't have a green booger in his beard, even if it's not a booger. But anyways, this is garlic salt. I really don't like to use regular salt. I like to use garlic salt because it already comes flavored with garlic. Put a little garlic salt in the crock pot because it's good for the meat, in the vegetables as well. Okay? Holy shit, Santa's here and I'm Santa. Next. This is called total seasoning. I wanted to get this and try it to see how it works. And what's in it is garlic, oregano, parsley, cilantro. Very simple for beef, pork, seafood, or chicken. And I don't mind using it. A little bit's not going to hurt. A little cilantro in this, a little bit of parsley. It's a roast. It's supposed to be full of savory herbs and flavors. A lot of people make a roast, you know, but it's not that flavorful. Yeah, it tastes meaty and all that, but we don't want it to just taste meaty. We're trying to make it so that way the vegetables are a huge part of this meal. Because a lot of times with the roast, people just put a slab of meat on their plate and they're like, roast, can I have more, can I have more? It's like, sure you can, but they ignore the vegetables because the vegetables maybe don't taste that great, or they're not seasoned right. So we want the seasoning to be wow when it comes to the roast, but the same thing with the vegetables. So that way people are like, these are really good vegetables. I think I'm going to get another serving of vegetables. Because a lot of times people will go, I'll get another serving of roast. This is the Ghost of Lord Rickmas roast here, okay? When you definitely eat this, you're going to find out why I call it this. Because I was thinking, what could I call my roast? I could say Lord Rick Crazy Roast. I could call it Bad Santa Double Down Roast. There's so many names I could call it, but I'd rather call it like Father Rickmas Crazy Roast, or the Ghost of Rickmas Crazy Roast, or whatever. When you eat this roast, it's going to make you take a journey back in time. Okay? Because you're going to feel like you're in grandmother's house. And that's the truth. So get ready, because the Ghost of Rickmas is here, baby. In roast form. So we already used garlic powder. That was another thing. And herbs. Okay. We're pretty much done seasoning our vegetables. Alright. What we're going to also do. Now I bought some red wine vinegar. Alright. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do with this. It's funny. This is leaking. Like I put it on the counter and it started leaking everywhere when I was purchasing it. And you could smell the vinegar and the red wine. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Was it open? Somebody drinking it already? But I'm going to put it in both a little bit. It breaks down the meat, but I'm going to put a little bit of red wine in both of the crock pots, okay? And we'll even splash a little in here, in the vegetables, okay? It's red wine vinegar. And I used it in a little bit of everything, okay? It has a little bit of vinegar taste and red wine, but it's still very good, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to start working with the garlic. It's one of the most important key ingredients, guys, is the garlic. Lots of garlic, okay? I'm going to throw a couple scoops into each pot. And I had to buy more garlic because I was just like, oh shit. Because I was running out, man. I knew I would run out. This requires a lot of garlic. Try not to waste any either. Because see, the garlic will stick on the sides and that really sucks. You don't want that to happen either. You want to get as much as you can get. But now that I got that garlic done, I'm going to open the next garlic because I just don't think we have enough and we want to put more into the crock pots. Do this, baby. Don't be shy with the garlic either. You know, put about 4 scoops on it. There's a lot of garlic in this. Shame on me. I'm going to wash my shot glass. So, there's going to be 2 types of roasts, okay? One's going to be a very home-style Italian roast, just to let you guys know. And the other one's going to be a kind of a brown sugar bourbon type of roast, okay? And what's going to go on here, okay? This is the Italian one. This is the bourbon one. Pay close attention, okay? The green one is going to be the bourbon one. Okay, this is going to be the Italian one. Since it's a bourbon, it's going to be a sweet brown sugar bourbon. We're going to go ahead and throw a shot on into this of bourbon whiskey. Just a shot. Nothing major. We're not trying to get our company drunk. It's just part of the ingredients. You throw a little bit of alcohol in. It's just that, you know, you ever have Jack Daniel's steaks or Jack Daniel's chicken or, you know, honey bourbon chicken, that kind of thing. So we throw a little bit of whiskey in here. This will be the brown sugar and bourbon. Speaking of brown sugar and bourbon, they sell at the store by Grill Mates brown sugar and bourbon seasoning. Watch. This is brown sugar and bourbon seasoning. Now keep in mind I used a little bit of red wine and also a little bit of bourbon in here. But we put a little seasoning in. We're not going to put it in this. This is an entirely different roast. I'm working on one roast at a time to show you guys, okay? So, our next move is we're going to put some beef broth in. Here's the thing about beef broth. Excellent for roast. I'm going to put 2 cans of beef broth probably in each crock pot. It helps season the briskets or your roast or whatever you put in here. But don't be afraid to put a can of beef broth in. I'm going to put a couple cans. We have 3 pieces of meat in here. The meat's going to absorb some of that, and then some's going to be lost through evaporation. So what we will definitely put a couple cans in each. I wouldn't put any more than that because we have other ingredients. Okay, but we put a couple cans of beef broth in that, okay? Cornstarch. I bought some. The secret of cornstarch is to thicken it into making a gravy. So it'll turn this into a gravy. And I'm only going to put a couple teaspoons in for now. Okay, because if it doesn't thicken, then I'll add more before it's done. But once I put couple scoops of vegetables in, and the meat absorbs most of the juices, the roast is going to be perfect. It's going to be the perfect Christmas dinner. A lot of people have hams and turkeys. I'm okay with that, but I had turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm like, no way I'm eating another turkey. I want something different. I want some nice cuts of roast to eat with some wholesome vegetables. Something that, you know, it's like being in grandmother's house and you walk in and her house just smells of a fresh Christmas tree and cookies and roast cooking, that kind of thing. And tomorrow I'll have that. I have a 10-foot fresh Christmas tree I cut in the mountains of the Sierras. You know, we got 300 ornaments on it. We'll have a log in the fireplace. A roast cooking. What more could someone ask for? A little kid running around. That's what life's about, my friends. So anyhow, here's the thing, okay? I'm going to separate some stuff because we got two different types of roast going on, okay? We got an Italian roast and we got a brown sugar roast. Now, what else do you want to know what we got? I'll tell you what else you got to put in this. Brown sugar. Real brown sugar. Yeah, the seasoning's brown sugar. There's really no brown sugar taste unless you're willing to really put some brown sugar in there. This is bourbon honey brown sugar. What about the honey? Well, I'll show you in a little bit what we're doing, okay? Now, I'm not a guy that likes to measure. I'm not a person that likes to take out measuring cups. I can measure just by looking at it and tell what a cup, 2 cups, 3 cups is. So if you ask me how much sugar to put, how much brown sugar, well, I have 3 cuts of meat. So I would say probably, my guess would be, put a couple cups of brown sugar on in. You want the meat to absorb this. Okay, and it's going to be a little liquidy. It's going to sit overnight. It's going to be very liquidy. It's not going to thicken up until you start to cook this, because I plan on getting up in the morning. I'm going to have biscuits. I have these blueberry biscuits as well. I have some biscuits in the morning, play some Christmas music, have some nice coffee, hazelnut, pumpkin. I have all these different types of coffees I could have. Open my gifts. I'll have dinner cooking and I won't have to do nothing. I might have to come on and do a second segment of AngelOfThyNight radio for you guys, and that's okay. Because that's not work to me, that's pleasure. Because if you guys can cook and use my recipes long after I'm gone, I mean, then I've made my mark on the world. I don't have to be rich or famous or have this big paranormal or cooking show. If the TV networks don't want me, then you're lost. What we do here is charity and volunteer. Nobody pays me to do this. I just like to get on the air and make a few people's day. That's it. That's it. And some people get disgusted by my show, and those are sometimes our best fans. So anyways, put a few cups of brown sugar on in with the meat and the beef broth that's in here. Because we can season the beef broth. It just serves as kind of like a gravy. I love brown sugar. What about you guys? They're pretty good, you know. Don't be afraid to be, don't be stingy on the brown sugar is what I'm saying, okay? Little bit of honey. We're going to use some honey in this. Honey is great, man. Very expensive. Bees are dying off. If we start growing cannabis fields, we can bring the bee population back, because bees love cannabis plants, hemp plants. Especially when they flower, they love to just roll around on the buds, and they put a lot of pollen on the leaves. It's just really good for the bee population. But I put some honey in. I drizzle this, and now what we have here, honey and brown sugar. Stir it around because there's seasonings in here too. We want the seasonings to soak in the meat. Okay? We haven't started this one, but we almost have this ready to go in the cooler for the night, and then just put it on the crock pot in the morning. I'm probably going to start, I'm thinking about starting it at 9 a.m. Because if I cook it from 9 till about 5, that's 8 hours. If we eat 5, 5:30, 8 and a half hours, 8 hours is a good time to cook a roast. And I don't have to cook it on high. I can put it on low for the entire 8 hours, and it's going to be, by the time it's time to eat, the roast is going to be tender and moist. It's going to be full of flavor. So that's the, right now you're looking at this is the honey bourbon brown sugar roast. Okay, it's going to be sweet, it's going to be yummy, it's going to be really good. Okay, it might even have a little bit of zing to it. One last ingredient, okay? This is sweet brown sugar barbecue sauce. Okay, I normally don't like to slow cook. I do use barbecue sauce in a lot of my slow cookers. I'll add some in there for flavor because, I mean, barbecue sauce, this is barbecue sauce, but it's sweet brown sugar. So I'm going to go ahead, it's thicker. I'm thinking about only, I was going to add 2, but I'm going to add 1. Just 1. Because this is barbecue sauce, but it's full of brown sugar as well. And it's very viscous. It's much thicker than the current liquid and than the current marinade we've made, okay? All this is going to sit overnight. There isn't much you guys are going to be able to do. I mean, once you prep this, all you have to do is tomorrow put it on and let it cook for itself. Not a lot you have to do, which is what I recommend because a lot of you guys have kids, you got families coming over. I mean, I know with COVID, you're not having as big of gatherings, but some of you are still having a mom or a dad come over. Some of you are like, no, absolutely not with COVID. Here's the thing. You can go get tested. The way I see it is if you don't even have any symptoms, lie and say I have symptoms. Just so you can get a test before the holidays so you know you're probably negative. Unless you contracted a day or two after you get your test. Chances are that is one way to go about it, is just everybody get tested if you're going to have some kind of gathering, and if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I'm not for mask inside my house. Love to wear a mask outdoors. I have masks with vampires, Frankenstein faces, Jason, the Buffalo Bills. Speaking of Buffalo Bills, Tammy got me this awesome Christmas hat. Did you guys know that Buffalo beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, kicked the shit out of the Denver Broncos, and made the AFC Championship, and they still got 2 games to go? Amazing. The Buffalo Bills could be potentially Super Bowl contenders this year. So I got my Bills hat on. I hope you got your Bills hat on. You might be able to take the man out of Buffalo, but you can't take the Buffalo out of the man. So this is done. This is really done. It's got the seasonings. It's going to have to thicken up, okay? I may tomorrow put an extra bottle of this while it's cooking. You know, because if it starts to dry out a little, that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to add another bottle of sweet brown sugar barbecue. But you got real honey, you got sweet brown sugar barbecue sauce, you got red wine, you got some fresh onions, some simmered nice pieces of roast that have been browned on both sides. Then you got all your seasonings, and then you got real brown sugar and beef broth. So that completes this roast. All I have to do is put it on. One other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your olive oil, which I have over here, and you're going to put some olive oil in here. Okay, a little bit for flavoring, okay? We're also going to put some olive oil all over these vegetables. Okay? It's for flavoring. It'll absorb the olive oil. It's completely safe. I don't have no clogged arteries. I get tested for diabetes. I get tested for cholesterol, and besides me using a lot of butter and sometimes like olive oil and things to cook with, I'm perfectly healthy and haven't had any issues. Okay, so we're going to make the Italian roast now. Olive oil. It's an Italian roast. Put some olive oil in there. It's for flavoring, okay? I'm going to teach you guys a little something, okay? We want it to have some Italian taste. So here's what we're going to do, okay? These are cooking sauces. They say pot roast on them, okay? You don't have to use them. There's a reason why I use them, because of the seasonings that are in them. You can, if you own the same seasonings, you can just make this. So let me tell you what's in this, and let me tell you how this will become Italian. Besides the garlic and olive oil and red wine that's in there, this is not what's going to make it Italian. What I'm putting in here tonight will make it very Italian-like. But I'll tell you guys what's in this, okay? If you happen to get one from your store and you want to use them in your pot roast, you can use it, okay? But this is not what's going to make the Italian roast. And I don't have to use these to make the Italian roast. They're already Italian with what I'm using besides these. However, these add a whole nice element of seasonings that you're probably not going to get unless you have a kitchen that's full of these types of herbs. So let me tell you, water's in this, obviously. White mushrooms, I already have in it. Tomato paste, Cabernet wine, that's awesome. Onions, vegetable seasoning, vegetable seasoning such as carrot, celery, and onions. Sugar, corn flour, canola oil, salt, dried carrot, canola oil, sugar, beef paste, beef juice, beef extract, carrot, modified cornstarch, salt, dried onion, red wine, vinegar, lactic acid. Dried porcini, mushrooms, dried garlic, spice, potassium sorbate, caramel color, and anthan gum. I better go get my anthan gum. The fuck is X-anthem gum? You know what I'm saying? Point is, most of the stuff I already have in here, I already put in here. This just adds to it, just so you know. So we're going to take the difference is there's tomato sauce and it's a much thicker sauce, which is great if you want a thick stew-like roast. It's kind of watery, but it thickens up, that's why the cornstarch and all the other things that are in there, once you start cooking it, the sauce thickens up. Next, beef broth. And it's okay when you make these if almost up to the top, the roast and the marinade, it's okay if the marinade comes to the top. Because you got to understand, as this is cooking, the meat's going to absorb a lot of it and it's going to thicken up. And here's the thing, if you don't have any juices in here, you're not going to be able to put these vegetables into here. I'm going to slow cook these so they're semi-done, semi-tender, and then I'm going to let the crock pots cook the rest of these. I won't be able to fit in both crock pots both of these, but I'll be able to fit at least half my vegetables in both. So you got to have some juices, because the vegetables also absorb some of the roast juices, so they taste really good. So try to understand where I'm coming from here. I'm going to be slow cooking these on the stove while these slow cook all day long. I will slow cook these about a couple hours before the roast is done, like about an hour, and then I'll put them on low, and then I'll take a couple scoops, couple capinas, once the juices are flowing, and I'll throw them in here an hour before it's time to eat. That way, we have some really good hearty vegetables cooked in with the roast. I'm going to also put a couple scoops of cornstarch, because we don't want this to be too, what I'd say, too watery. How does this get Italian? There's multiple ways we can make this Italian. I'm going to show you how, okay? I have zesty Italian dressing, if you want a zesty mix. Aged balsamic vinaigrette, which has herbs in it. I don't necessarily want balsamic. Zesty Italian, again, that's just generic, and classic Italian. Or we can go with an herb and garlic marinade. And I think we should go with the herb and garlic. We're trying to make a wholesome pot roast. We want it to taste full of zesty herbs and garlic, but we also want it to have that wholesome, beefy pot roast taste. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put, this is kind of a marinade, it's kind of a dressing. It is actually dressing, it's just more thicker of a type of dressing, but it has, let me tell you, water, lemon juice, vinegar, cornstarch, dried garlic, herbs, dried red bell pepper, then there's that anthem gum and blah 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 blah, dried onion. So it's, but it's got a lot of herbs, it's got a kind of a zesty Italian flavor, and this is going to give us our Italian flavor. Okay, between the red wine, the herbs, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put, now pay attention, I put this in. You can put a dressing on in, okay? I'm going to also put a little aged balsamic in here. This is an Italian roast. Again, it's full of garlic, full of seasonings, very, kind of has a little bit of vinegar to it, and it'll cook into the meats, and some people don't like it, but you know what? It'll be the most tender roast you ever ate. You're not going to choke on it. You're not going to die on Christmas. I mean, if somebody that has their dentures out, do you want them honestly eating hard roast beef chunks without their teeth? They could die and choke to death. No! So you cook, what you do is you cook a nice roast where you don't need any teeth at all, because it's like the M&Ms, melts in your mouth, not in your hand. And that's true. You could take a piece of roast, it's not going to melt in your hand, but as soon as you put it in your mouth, it's going to melt. So we got some brown sugar and bourbon and honey roast, and we have an Italian garlic and herb roast here. We're going to have two roasts cooking at once. We're going to have some fresh vegetables cooking here, steamed vegetables, which we'll transfer, we'll put half of them an hour before while the roast is cooking, because we don't want mushy vegetables. That's a turn-off when you make a roast. But we have enough marinade almost to the top, where if I slow cook this all day long, about an inch or two is going to disappear, and it'll be just enough to put a couple scoops of vegetables on it, okay? A little bit of balsamic, that'll make it fully Italian, okay? Not too much, because it is strong, just a little bit, okay? And you know what's in here? Water, balsamic vinegar, grape juice, canola oil, sugar, soybean oil, olive oil, extra virgin, Dijon mustard, distilled vinegar, mustard seed, water, salt, white wine, dried garlic. So, you guys can kind of see spices. This Italian roast right here has about 15 to 16 spices in it. Okay, so that's why it's going to be good and flavorful. But what we want to do now is we want to stir it. Okay, it's going to take, you want to stir it, you want to mix it up. It's going to sit here all night long in the cooler. And it's just going to sit in the marinade, which is not going to hurt it, because because here's the thing, it'll break down the meat even if it's cold sitting in your fridge, your freezer, or whatever you decide to do. Put it in the fridge. It won't hurt nothing. Put a lid on it, put it overnight. When you wake up to open presents, pop it on the counter, put it in the slow cooker, plug it in, turn it on low, and let it do its thing. But, another thing I'm going to give you advice on, because there's a lot of spices that may settle on the bottom here, you are going to have to stir this, and you're going to have to take like a knife an hour before and start, maybe a couple hours before, start breaking the meat down into chunks. Because you want the roast to be, you want this to be a shredded type of beef, where people can take tongs, put a little bit on their plate, and then take a scoop and put a scoop of vegetables on their plate with some baked ravioli, some Italian baked ravioli, okay? And so we're going to do that in a bit too. I mean, this is the ultimate cooking episode. You guys asked for it and I'm giving it to you. So everything's been stirred. The meat's totally soaked. And again, these are two types of meats that we're cooking here. Okay? And I'm going to show you something else too. I don't usually do this, but I have a garlic, herb, and wine marinade. It already comes together. It's grill meats, okay? And you know what's in here? Distilled vinegar, water, lemon juice, sugar, salt, spices, herbs, including oregano, paprika, wine, extra virgin oil, cornstarch, bell peppers, yeast, red bell pepper, to be exact, sesame oil. So I'm going to put a couple of these in here as well. Okay? Maybe put, these are very thick, and I'm going to put 2 of these in here. There's a lot of white and red wine in what I'm cooking. A lot of red and white wine. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Here's the thing. You have 3 pieces of meat. That's a lot of meat. So if you look and you're like, oh man, the marinade comes at the top, that's a lot of different marinades you're using. It's not. Because you have to figure that the meat and the vegetables is going to absorb most of it. And it's going to have that flavor. It's going to have a little bit of a tangy Italian flavor. That's why I'm cooking 2 types of roast. Because the way I look at it is you may not be into an Italian type of roast. You may not like vinegar and garlic and wines. You may like the sweet brown sugar honey roast. That's why I'm making 2 roasts. Because I know people are picky eaters. For me, it doesn't matter. I'll eat either roast. And if I only had, if it was just myself, Tammy, my dogs, it would be just this roast right here or this roast right here. I made extras right here. I made 2 roasts, not 2 roasts. We actually have a total of 6 roasts because I cut them into halves. And there's 6 slabs of meat. But you have 2 different kinds. So, you know, sometimes people are more into the Italian. Sometimes they're more into the barbecue-y type of, you know, bourbon, brown sugar type of roast. There's a lot of different roast out there. And I have another garlic and herb. So tomorrow, if the marinades, if it's cooking tomorrow and I notice that the meat's absorbing a lot of the liquid and it's starting to dry out, I have another herb and garlic I can put in. And that's going to be saved over here. We'll put that up. Just like the other barbecue sauce, we'll put that up as well. Now I'm going to show you one more thing I got, one more little trick up my sleeve. I have a brown sugar and bourbon sauce. This is Grill Mates. These are thick too. Just like the Italian herb and garlic. That was pretty thick when I put it in and stirred it. Again, you want to add more spices, you want to add more flavor, you add more of these. This is an expensive meal. Okay, I spent about, this is not one of my cheap good eats meals, but this is one of my meals that you're having a holiday dinner and you got the whole family coming over and you really want to impress them, then this is what $100 can buy here, okay? Because you have to figure there's seasonings, there's different marinades, then you got your cuts of meat. Then I got some pies I'll be making tomorrow. They're pre-made. I don't usually make, sometimes we make homemade pies, but you know, we got like a pecan pie. We got a pecan, I think, and a blueberry pie, or no, it was a pecan and an apple pie or something. I have to look. But we have pies, we have black olives. We're going to have a nice salad with cheese and croutons and bacon bits and sesame seeds and sunflower seeds and carrots, and it just has everything in it. So we'll have a salad, black olives, the vegetables, the roast, the baked ravioli, and then my daughter-in-law's bringing a couple dishes. And so we'll, you know, but when you put it all together between the baked ravioli, the sauce, all these little spices and seasonings and meat, by the time with the pie, the desserts, and all the little extra things, you're looking at a $100 Christmas dinner, which is, people spend way more for that. Because they buy lobster, and they buy turkeys, and they buy hams, $50, $60 hams. And these roasts cost me anywhere from $8 to $9 per package, so I spent about almost $40 on roasts. Anyhow, this is brown sugar It's almost barbecue sauce. That's why I don't mind putting a barbecue sauce in here, because the marinade packets, this is supposed to soak overnight or for a half hour to overnight anyways. So these marinades are going to, when you look at it, you're really marinating the meat. That's exactly what I'm doing, is I'm marinating the meats. We put the meats in there, they marinate overnight, and then when you put them on the slow cooker, bam! They cook all day long and absorb all the, it'll absorb the flavor. And it'll start absorbing the flavor starting now. But this is brown sugar and bourbon, okay? And what's in it? Again, brown sugar, distilled vinegar, tomato puree, tomato paste, water, salt, spices, chili, pepper, black pepper, mustard, bourbon, onion, garlic, cornstarch, red bell pepper, rice flour, spices, seasoning. So it's, you want to, like I said, you want to throw in a couple extra packets, that's good. But I'm going to throw in, I had 2 of these and I'm going to throw them in. It's just, it's a marinade and it's going to be good. And all I'm doing basically is everything I'm making tonight is already really made. I'm just doctoring it up. And what I mean by made is that this already comes with the spices and everything in the packet. I'm just throwing it in. And then I'm just adding some of my own spices to make it better. And marinades, to enhance it a little. And that's what we're doing. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stir. Since we just put this in, I'm going to stir it. Now what's going to happen is, this has got to go in the fridge and we got to chill this. Okay? And I'm going to show you guys what it looks like mixed together. It's very watery. But the cornstarch that's in this eventually will thicken this up to and it'll be a very gravy-like. And then we can add some vegetables with it. That way if somebody wants vegetables, they can have vegetables with it. Butter. Obviously it's not melted butter. But when we put the lids on these and we start them, the butter will melt throughout the vegetables. Scoop. Okay? Put a scoop in. You know, as a matter of fact, put a couple scoops. Okay, there's a reason. The butter's gonna, most of it will evaporate, some of the vegetables will absorb it. Buttery vegetables are tasty and good, and I know people say that's not good for you, because this is not really real butter, this is kind of buttery spread, and I've been using this shit for years, but here's the thing, okay, they're starting to make these type of things without any trans fat now and try to make them a little bit safer to eat. So I use it in my cooking. You don't have to. You can substitute it. You want to buy real butter, use real butter. But you have to put, you can't just cook vegetables without oil or butter, okay? Because they're gonna burn on the bottom and they're gonna stink up the rest of them, and they're not gonna taste good, and they're gonna be crispy and hard and dry. We don't want that, okay? So what we're gonna do, it's hard to estimate, but I would say put plenty of scoops of butter. There you go. Okay? I'm not going to do nothing. The butter's going to sit on top till I put it on the stove. When I start cooking it on the stove about medium, within 10 minutes, all this butter is going to disappear and soak down into the vegetables. You see what I'm saying? I showed you guys the olive oil. Remember I put some in here? Don't be afraid to put a little olive oil in the vegetables, okay? Mixed in with the butter. If you think it's going to be greasy, it's not. These are going to be cooking for about an hour on the stove. And they'll be tender enough, because I'll cook them on medium. I'm not going to cook them on high. I'll make sure they're tender, like about halfway cooked. And then what I'll do is when they're about halfway cooked, I'll throw them in here an hour before. Anything else I have in the pot will be extra. Like people may not want to eat their vegetables that's been cooking in the roast. So we'll have 2 types of vegetables. They can have the vegetables in the roast, because some people like that, or they can have vegetables on the side. And I'll let the vegetables here finish cooking. Half of them will finish cooking on the stove, half of them will finish cooking in the crock pot. Does that make sense so far? So we're done here. We're done. And the best thing you can do at this point, put the lids on them. Okay, so now we got the lids on these, okay? That's all good, right? And these are all going to go in the fridge. All of it. And I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to do anything with them. I stirred them all. I will take each crock pot and I will turn them on. I will keep this in the cooler, let it marinate overnight. And we will put them on when I get up, 8, 9 in the morning. And they will cook probably for about 8 hours. The house will smell of roast all day long. In addition to all the little Christmas candles we like to burn and wax scents. All different kinds. Gingerbread cookies, pine tree, garland. We have so many different candles and so many different wax cubes and scents. Winterscape, and it's just amazing. But I gotta finish up this show because in a little bit I gotta dress as the Jolly Red Man and I gotta go deliver gifts to the disabled. And I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to doing this every year because I believe in charity work. I believe in donating and giving back to our community. I don't care how you do it. I run a basketball team. I give guys hope. I give guys a place to play basketball, an outlet. Some of them have hard lives. They just want to get away because they're stressed. You know what I'm saying? They're stressed. But anyhow, if you're stressed, there's only a couple ways to handle it. I usually handle it through food. I usually handle stress through food. Sometimes I handle stress by being bad Santa at Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, I'm going to tell you something. Only reason why I'm wearing this mask better with the Christmas theme. I actually like this mask better. It's more simple. Because I'm not eating all the hairs, it just pops on and off instantly. But when you put the Santa beard on and the curly hair and the big old hat and the suit and everything, things start to heat up. This, I could just be like, hey, what's up, brothers? What's up? And stay cool. Little ventilation. Be like, yeah, can I help you? But I'm always one of these guys that I like to meet freaky girls. I do. I love whores, I love prostitutes, escorts, hookers, strippers. I just like adult entertainers. They're fun to hang out with. They're fun. But overall, generally, women are awesome to hang out with if they're the right women, as long as they're not my ex-wife or anything like that. Sometimes I like to meet weird girls because it's a good story to bring back for my friends. And I know that sounds horrible because people are like, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm not being rude or disrespectful towards women in any kind of way. But what I'm saying is, we do things at the spirit of the moment. We're human beings. Sometimes in life we get bored. I mean, with COVID and the apps, they're now encouraging virtual dates only. No real dates, and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to have a couple more kids. But a lot of women on these apps are like, will you marry me? Like within 10 minutes of talking. Will you marry me? I want to get married. You sound like a guy I can marry. Are you single? Are you alone? Will you marry me? It's like, Jesus, dude. We haven't even gotten to the part of, hey, would you like a cup of coffee? Oh, that's right, we do virtual dates. Basically, you rock out with your fucking cock out and be like, hey, what's up, brother? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're on fucking webcam. It's a real awkward situation. Because here you are, you're on camera, and then if you meet, you're like, hey, we gotta wear a mask. Which is just odd to begin with. Now, I kiss Tammy. She's got her mask on. We give mask kisses. Because we don't feel like taking our mask off sometimes in the store or whatever, reach over and give each other a kiss. But the point is that we go out into the world. I encounter the craziest shit just because I'm Lord Rick. And crazy is as crazy does, and I encounter some of the craziest people. It might be just because I'm a paranormal investigator. I don't fucking know. But I'm telling you right now, I have been with nurses, women who are lawyers, doctors, professionals, warehouse workers, you name it, I've been with every type of woman. I've been with women who are politicians, women who've been escorts and strippers. I've been around all types of women. It doesn't mean that I'm banging them. I love to have lady friends. I get along with women. I pick out their clothes, their shoes, their makeup. I'm one of these type of guys that I could chill with the lady. But I'm also one of these bad boy types that sometimes I'm driving on a paranormal investigation and I'm driving at 1 a.m. and I'm bored looking for ghosts. And I'm like, you know what? I'm in the mood for a handy dandy. I end up finding the weirdest women. They contact me. I don't chase anybody. I'm on apps. Some people want virtual dating. Some people are real uppity about it. I mean, like, I've offended some people. I'm like, hey, you want to get coffee? And they're like, I don't do that. I only virtual date. There's COVID. Well, I already had COVID. I already got antibodies. I'm not going to get you sick for at least 6 months until I catch this shit again, right? But anyways, I have all sorts of lady friends. One of my lady friends, a mortician. The town's undertaker. And she is a freak. She is a freakazoid. And here's the thing about being with the town undertaker. She doesn't like me for me. She just likes things that are stiff. So, you know, I'm fucking rocking out with my fucking cock out. She's not going to say no. It's like, hi, Mr. Stiffy, nice to meet you. Because of COVID, she's dealing with every day, she's working like 16 hours a day because she says 50% of the people that she's dressing, because she has to dress the dead people in clothes and embalm them and put the makeup on them, die from COVID. Die from COVID. How do you keep yourself from freaking out seeing so many dead people? And she acts like it's no big deal. And, you know, this girl is like a freak in the fucking sheets, man. She likes to, like, fucking rape my ass. Santa suit and all. You know, it's like, wow, man. You could get a date anytime with this girl as long as you showed up with a heart on at her fucking door. It's on. Like fucking Donkey Kong. So words of advice. If you're going to date an undertaker, just know what you're up against. Because I'm telling you right now, one time I was like dozing off. I was like, whoo, you know, fucking snoring. I wake up 5 minutes later. It's playing dress up with me. Playing dress up with me. Putting clothes on me. And it's like, you know, what are our conversations about over coffee? It's about the deceased. How was your day, my friend? Oh, you know, I just embalmed somebody and I dressed some woman for a Mormon ceremony in Mormon clothes. It's like, huh, you were dressing me in Mormon clothes. What's going on here? We getting our profession confused with a little bit of kinky sex? And here's the thing about kink. I'm telling you right now, this is the only way she knows kink is by dressing me up. Dress me up. That's as kinky as it's gonna get. I'll wake up with fucking pigtails, lipstick, and a goddamn Mormon outfit on. Can you imagine me in a Mormon outfit? I mean, I'm lying there stiff in bed and all of a sudden I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, I live by example. It's happened to me. Do not date the town's undertaker. Easy to get a date. If you show up with a heart on, it's easy to get a date. What's not easy to deal with is that you fall asleep and you wake up and you're like in a fucking coffin, man. You're like, whoa, 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 I don't want no coffin sex here. Because you know as well as I do, I'll be fucking, and that fucking lid's gonna close, and I'm gonna be locked in that coffin for the rest of my goddamn life with you. That is how I'm gonna spend my last fucking breaths. On top of you. In my fucking Mormon skirt and fucking lipstick. No, thank you. I think I'll stick with the professional women. Oh, let me rephrase that. I think I'll stick with professional women who are not professional undertakers. I got friends. I run a paranormal organization. People want to meet me, talk about ghost towns experience. I got lots of friends. You know, let's have a drink. Let's go for lunch. Doesn't mean sex is going on, but now and then there's mutual attraction, and somebody sits there and tells you, you know, you think, hey, this is a great girl. And she says, by the way, did you know I embalmed somebody today? Did you know I dressed somebody up? Somebody got mangled and hit by a car, and I put makeup on them and embalmed them and dressed them up in a dress. Why don't you come back to my place for a drink? Man, I swore that drink was fucking Mickey. Because I woke up in a dress, I said, what kind of kinky shit is this, man? Sorry, but you're not going to get Lord Rick to start wearing women's clothes. I said I like women's clothes. I like women that wear women's clothes. I like women that dress in stripper shoes and sexy. I love shoes. I have a foot fetish, so I love women that wear sexy shoes, obviously, and stockings and heels and skirts. What I don't like is when some woman tries to dress me up like a goddamn Barbie doll. I am not a Barbie doll. I am a fucking mountain man with hairy arm fucking pits, facial fucking hair. Not a lot, but I got the fucking sideburns and the facial hair. Long hair. I'm like fucking Conan the Barbarian, alright? I'm trying to get a six-pack. It's kind of hard with all the pie. You know what I'm saying? But no, you know, I'm a woman's man. I'm a Teddy Burley type of guy. You know, I'm a teddy bear. And I'm the most masculine man you'll ever meet. I climb mountains. I jump in fucking, I cross fucking rivers. I chase fucking bear in the woods. You know, I cut my own firewood. I cook my own hearty meat dinners. Go out in the fucking blizzards and snowstorms, disappear, come back 2 hours later, go in caves. I do all sorts of manly shit. But there's another side to me too that enjoys being with ladies, because I like the feminine aspect, women's nails being done and pedicures and all those ladylike things. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna date a woman that's gonna play dress up with me. You know, it's like, I'm supposed to have you model your sexy outfits for me, because I want to look at you. I don't want to look at me in the mirror in a dress and hairy fucking legs. That'll fucking traumatize me. It's bad enough you're sitting here watching fucking Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. What else is there to do? We're all stuck in our homes. It's fucking a pandemic. You go out, you fucking die. You stay home, you fucking die. There is no in between. I did find a happy medium though. This year, a lot of camping trips. We've done about 50, 60 ghost towns this year. And probably about 10 to 15 big ass fucking mountains. And a lot of haunted sites. We were just up in Virginia City. We're doing it up, man. Everybody thinks the Paranormal Ghost Society is dead. In 2021, I'm going to start adding cases back on our site. I got about 400 cases and video, movies, documentaries I will add. It's going to take me time. It's not going to happen overnight. But the election is over. Life is resuming to normal. There's a vaccine. Things are less stressful. It's time to go out into the world again. I'm not going to punish myself. There's a lot of things I can do that out in the world and get away from the pandemic. I can go out in the middle of the mountains. I can go get my own firewood. I can hike. I can camp. I can fish. And not have to be around people. Do my shopping every couple weeks for food. That kind of thing. You know, and play it safe. Wear a mask playing basketball. If I get it, I get it. You can't fully protect yourself unless you want to wear a hazmat suit. So you understand that there are some risks going out. We take risk going to the grocery store. We take risk going to work. The COVID is there. And 1 out of every 5 people probably have it. 1 out of every 4 people have it. And you've probably all been around someone with COVID. You just didn't get it. Because not everybody gets it and some people are asymptomatic. But how do you deal with the stress? Escorts, adult entertainment. So, you know, I always look for adult entertainment. Every holiday I like to treat myself to a porn star, a stripper, a naughty girl, a college girl, you know, that kind of thing. It's like shopping. You know, I want Mexican, I want Chinese. Oh, I want a Russian beauty. Oh, I want someone with a nice booty and big boobs, you know. Just like to treat myself to a nice massage, maybe a nice little shower, a little bit of pampering. Nothing wrong with that. A little bit of maybe even a handy-dandy, you know what I'm saying? But no, seriously. But you gotta watch, there's a lot of scams out there. The new scam is, I don't want your cash. Buy me a card. What kind of card? Oh, I want an eBay card for $100. Give me an Amazon card for $100. I guess that's a good deal. But the problem is sometimes you buy the card and then you show up and the person's not real and you're like, no, I gotta buy $100 worth of, you can't take it back. So you're stuck buying on, if you buy an eBay card, you're stuck buying an eBay. But what could an escort want on eBay or Amazon? You know, that cash holds more value. You go on eBay, yeah, you could buy the things you need for around your house. You know, you could buy clothes, shoes, maybe that's what it is. You know, I can go shopping on eBay. Maybe these girls don't have good credit, so they're just like, I need an eBay card. But today I told, or not today, but there was this girl, and she asked for an eBay card, and I thought it was kind of a scam. I'm like, I'm not buying a card. I will pay you cash for your time, not for sex, but for your time. Because I mean, some of them, you can meet an escort from the you can meet a girl from the brothel, or a girl who's a masseuse and just wants to do a little escorting on the side, or adult entertainment. And some of those girls give good massages. They're sweet girls, they give good massages, they make a good date to go out to dinner with, and then you go back to their hotel, you get a nice massage and a little relaxation. Nothing wrong with that. But nowadays, these women want They're like dog ugly, fucking cracked out, and they're like, I'm a $400 an hour girl. It's like, I don't think so, man. I was once in the adult industry. I wasn't a porn star. I ran the company with some guy, and I just laugh, man. I just laugh. And I told some, she goes, you wasted my time, and then all of a sudden I get this message saying, since you wasted my girl's time, I don't know if it's the company she works for, or it's like it's a fake text, and they just send you to the girl's house, and you're really not talking to the girl, who knows? But they said, if you don't pay me within the hour, $1,500, I'm going to come kill your family. Do you know what I said to them back? I said, why don't you come, motherfucker? I'm armed heavily. Come to my fucking house. Because they said, we have your info and we know who you are. I said, who am I? I get no answer. You got so-and-so to pay this fine. I said, how about this? If you text me again or you come to my house, I'll fucking bury you. Because really, these are sex trafficking things. I don't mind independent girls, but a lot of them are sex traffickers, and they have a group of girls living in an apartment that they're trafficking, and you're really talking to them, and they're just like, bring me an eBay card, bring me an Amazon card. And they just have the girls take the cards, and they don't get none of the money, they don't get the cards, it goes to them. And it's just some fucking underground fucking group running a fucking prostitution thing where they have 2-3 girls are just turning out 50 times a day, and I'm not into that shit. I mean, I'm a little old-fashioned. I do believe that prostitution should be legal. If you want a whore, you can go in the Netherlands, you know, and you can go to Amsterdam, and you go to a red light district, and you can pick up any beauty you want. You can see her dancing in the window and be like, I want her for a massage or for a little bit of fun. You can't hear it. It's kind of hard to do that because a lot of women are either running scams or whoever she works for. So immediately, when I said, sorry, I'm not bringing a card, you either take the cash or you don't, I got this, well, for you wasting my time, my company wants $1,500 fine, and if you don't pay $1,500 fine, we're going to hurt your family, we're going to kill your family. So motherfucker, I'm armed to the goddamn fucking teeth. You want to go to war, we'll go to fucking war. I'll fucking be like fucking Terminator. I'll stick the shotgun out the window of my truck, and I'll fucking ram you and shit and shoot that shotgun out of my truck. I'm fucking crazy. You want war? You're just giving me what I want. You're just giving me fucking excitement. I said, go ahead, motherfuckers. Bring it on. I said, I will bury all yous in the desert because you'll come in my house. I'll kill you all. I got a big enough truck for all the bodies. I'll bury you out in Dixie fucking Valley in a hole. I will be the one to host your funeral too. Because I don't take kindly to threats. And during the election, people were threatening me, you better vote for Trump or I'm fucking killing you. I'm coming to your house. Come to my house, motherfucker. I will fucking wear the Santa beard and I will hold a fucking machine gun and I'll wear a clown fucking mask and we will play a game of fucking hit and miss. I don't care. I'll take a bullet as long as I make you suffer, I will take a bullet. And before I take a bullet, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll do so after I eat the Ghost of Rickmas Roast. That's with an S because we got 2 roasts. Italian garlic and herb roast, brown sugar and honey and bourbon roast. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a break. If there's anything you want to support, help support our website and our YouTube channel. Give our YouTube channel a like. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Try to learn something from the videos I post. Whether it's safety videos off-roading or hiking or camping or looking for Bigfoot or outdoors or how-to videos cooking or whatever. We try to bring a little bit of everything, but give this video a like, subscribe, make a comment, try to recipe yourself, see what you can come up with, okay guys? I'll be back from commercial. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. We also run many groups, many forums, and boards. You just have to kind of delve into it, and you know you can find stuff throughout our site that's probably will interest you. And then of course, please subscribe to our channel. We need probably about 10,000 more viewing hours this month, and the only way I can do it is with our fans. So help us out, man. Share this video, watch it a couple times, and give us a like and show us some love. This is Angel of the Night Radio, and we're live in Carson City. But you guys see, look how nice and hearty that is. That is hearty. But you guys can see the herbs, tons of herbs, garlic, and seasoning. And then we go on over to, this is a much darker cut. I sure made a mess, man. The stove is just covered. Look at that. Like, oops. But look how good that looks. And that's going to just stay in the cooler all night. And in the morning we'll put it on. And of course, our vegetables, look how nice it looks. Oh man, this is going to be a good meal, guys. You know, and all I can really ask for is to be with my friends and family for the holidays. That we're all safe, happy, well, and fed. We have a roof over our head, a log in the fireplace. And we have one another to share a little laughter and stories with. And whether those are naughty stories or nice ones, they are stories. And the stories will be told for ages, even with the ghost of Lord Rickmas Roast in this episode of Angel of the Night Radio. Look at how thick. It's going to be very thick. Okay, because you got cheeses, herbs, garlic, but that's how it's going to look. And trust me, it's going to taste so good. And what we're going to do is we're going to want to pour it on the bottom of the pan. Okay, we're going to pour a small layer, and I'll show you guys this on film. This could get a little messy, okay? We're going to pour just a thin layer like this, okay, on the bottom. You don't want your ravioli to burn, so yes, please put a layer on the bottom. And it's going to look just like that, okay? Just a thin layer. That way you can put the ravioli on top. Just a layer, bag to bag, bag for bag. I'm going to open 2 bags, and I'm going to put a couple bags in here. So now the sauce is completely covered. You can't even see the sauce, you just see the ravioli. Okay, these are spinach ravioli. Now here's what you can do. You can take fresh spinach, throw a layer of fresh spinach. You could take, there's different things you could throw on top. I mean, whatever you want to do, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take I have different cheeses here. These are Mexican cheeses, supposedly. And I'm going to sprinkle some of this, okay? You may not use all the cheeses, but you're going to use most of them or a lot of them. I have about 4 or 5 bags of cheeses because I wasn't sure how much I would use. But we're trying to create, it's kind of like a ravioli lasagna dish. Looks pretty good, huh? Now we'll coat it with another layer of sauce and more ravioli. Now we're going to do another layer of sauce. Use your spoon like this and you flatten it out, okay? Layer by layer, we'll put it together. But our sauce is almost used, so we're good on the sauce. We don't need to add to it. We're going to put another layer of ravioli on top. I may stop at the store tomorrow and I may get some fresh spinach real quick if I'm out. Well, I don't think I'm going to be out tomorrow on Christmas morning, but I mean, I could get some fresh spinach. I will be out tonight. If I see something open, I mean, I think everything's closed on Christmas Eve. I'd just go get a bundle of fresh spinach and you could sprinkle it on the top. You don't have to do it every layer, just on the top. I may still do that, I don't know. But these are spinach and cheese raviolis. So it really doesn't matter. The spinach is already in them, and that's the main thing, spinach and cheese ravioli and with 5 cheese sauce. So it might be the perfect amount of spinach. But you don't want to use too much spinach because then people are like, yeah, you know. Sometimes people don't like spinachy type of dishes. People are kind of finicky. You guys ever go in a grocery store and they have arrows marking which lane to go down? I do that all the time, man. And I go down the arrows the right way. And then 20 people come the opposite lane. I don't know the point of having that except for the fact is that when people come the other way, they got COVID, they can infect you because they're coming towards you. Rather than everybody going one way where the COVID can kind of settle to at least to the ground. And makes it less contagious. But the other day I was Christmas shopping for food. And I had to wait to get the sauce Because 20 people, a train of 20 people are going the opposite way. Just again, just COVID fucking satire. People just don't think and just so inconsiderate others. I go to estate sales too every weekend because I buy nice things for my house, things I need for the outdoors, things that I need around the house, tools to fix stuff, you know, nuts, bolts, things that I really need that I'd rather pay 50 cents for or $5 for than $50 for. You go in one of these houses to go, someone passes away from COVID, then you go in the house looking for those items, and 20 people don't have their mask on because they don't take the virus seriously. And it's like, dude, even if I get mild symptoms and you reinfect me, you suck fucking balls. You know what I'm saying? Any way would you look at it. We're lucky that COVID only has a 1% kill rate, if a 0.5%, because if this pandemic and this disease had potentially 100%, 90% kill rate, this would be apocalyptic. Our hospitals would not be ready. We would not be ready. All the scientists would be dead because everybody's careless. The government's careless. We got multiple senators that have gotten COVID. They're senators. They're supposed to be isolated and be in the Senate with each other and safe and healthy, and they're not. They're not, because some of the senators have been caught not wearing a mask. They just don't take disease and science seriously. And you would think in this time period that we live in, science, space, healing the sick, curing diseases would be something we would focus on, but we're more focused on stupid politics and laws and governing each other and you know, being greedy, and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and the politicians get richer off the big corps, and they don't want to give us a stimulus, and it just goes on and on and on. I'm not a big government guy, which is probably why I mainly hang out in the great outdoors, because I don't have to deal with anybody. I don't have to deal with people being disrespectful, not wearing a mask. I don't have to deal with idiots. I don't have to deal with people who get all political and shove it up your ass. I don't have to deal with none of that. I can go 1,000 feet underground in some mine, climbing around, you know, smoking my fucking weed, and it's utter silence. I don't have to deal with anybody. I just get wrapped up in my own paranormal research and, you know, in the adventure of it all. Anyways, we put another layer of ravioli. Again, same thing. Put a layer of Mexican cheese, a layer of Italian cheese. Now, the pizza blend cheese has the same cheese as the Italian blend, but the pizza blend has 3 less cheeses, so I haven't opened it. But it's there if we need extra cheese, okay? It's going to be super good, super cheesy. All these different cheeses, oh man. I think there's 7 or 8 cheeses in this. It's a very cheesy ravioli. And like I say, you could top it off with fresh spinach. There's other things you can put on top. You don't have to put fresh spinach. I mean, there's other greens and things you could put and sprinkle. It's your choice. But use fresh. Don't take like canned slimy spinach. Use fresh spinach or greens from the produce section, and you can actually layer the greens with the ravioli or on top. Just sprinkle it on top. In this case, this is just a 7 cheese type of ravioli with a very, very flavorful sauce. Now that we put the cheese on the ravioli, we'll put another, we're going to finish putting the layer of sauce on top, okay? This is a top layer. There's a bottom layer of sauce and a top layer of sauce. We want to make sure the cheese and sauce gets put throughout. That's why we're doing it this way in layers. Because if we don't do it this way, I'm telling you right now, if we do not do it this way, there'll be people get a couple of ravioli, it'll be real dry, no sauce, no flavor. This way, there's sauce and cheese throughout, okay? And I'm going to show you what it looks like, because it is full. This is a full bacon pan. This has a rack you can put, and you can put a ham or a roast in here as well and bake it in the oven. Or you could just use it for baked ravioli, macaroni. It's a pretty big pan, or pot, or whatever, or oven bacon pot, as you would call it. And so we're done with the sauce. I would say I'm going to go ahead and put some Parmesan on top. This is strictly Parmesan cheese. I mean, you can use, they have the shredded one, you can This is shredded, but they also have in the green canisters you can buy Parmesan. It's kind of like, you could even leave it out and don't have to refrigerate it or whatever, but you can sprinkle that kind of Parmesan as well. You know, the kind that's at Pizza Hut in the little glass. But this is shredded. And it doesn't matter, it all melts. It all melts, is what I'm saying. So, it doesn't matter what kind of cheese you use. Parmesan's Parmesan. You want it finely grated and you have some in a little glass container, that's fine too. But, it's totally up to you what you want to use. I got about, like I say, probably 8 cheeses in this invested. And there's different types of Bertolli, different types of Bertolli sauces that I used. And then what I did is I doctored it all up with multiple herbs, fresh garlic and all that. We put it all together, mix it all together, make a nice thick cheese sauce. And then cheese and sauce between layers of ravioli. With the cheese spinach ravioli, I mean, this is going to be a dynamite meal, okay? People are fussy. Not everybody likes meat. Not everybody likes vegetables, okay? And sometimes it's good just to have baked ravioli. This is a meal in itself. What I'm going to do tomorrow is I have from the Cheesecake Factory bread, and then I have these croissants. And I'm going to put in my measuring cup, I saved some cheese. I'm going to add some cheese. We'll add some herbs and garlic and butter, and I'll baste them while they're in the oven. And the bread alone with this is a meal. But the bread alone with brown sugar bourbon roast and Italian garlic and wine herb roast mixed in again with this ravioli and fresh garden vegetables that are stewed and also slow cooked in olive oil and butter. It's just supreme. It's going to be a supreme family dinner. Some black olives, a couple pieces of pie, couple pies for dessert, a little bit of applesauce, hot cocoa for the kid, log in the fireplace. We're going to dim this place down, let the tree and all. I have a bunch of different lights and decor. You can't really see it around the studio, but we'll have the tree, we have all sorts of little Christmas decor. We'll leave it on, and this whole dining area tomorrow will be red and green and Christmas colors. Outside of our home and our studio is just, I mean, like, it's amazing. I put hundreds of lights and old vintage Christmas decor. I mean, it was just so much. So if you watch our Christmas tree, every year I do Lord Rick's Big Christmas Tree Hunt, and I make it a virtual card, and it usually shows our good time in Virginia City, us finding a Christmas tree, us putting it up, how it finally looks, some of our Christmas decor, because this place looks like the North Pole. And to top it off tonight, I will be officially Santa Claus. Maybe not the Santa Claus you're used to, because I'm a Santa Claus that wears his rings and sunglasses. I'm a cool Santa Claus. But I'm still Santa Claus to a lot of those people that are counting on their gifts tonight. And in a couple hours, it looks like I'm going to end the show, and in a couple hours, I'm going to suit on up, and then I got to take my sack and deliver some gifts. And it's going to be a good time. I enjoy doing it. Like I say, my kids are older now. You know, they're not reading them stories before bed, and I like to take my time on Christmas to do something nice for someone, and on Christmas morning is time for my family and me and my friends, and Christmas night and Christmas Eve is usually spent doing charity work or a radio show or in this case, prepping dinner. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys it. I'm going to put the lid on it. It's going to stay all night long in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow an hour and a half before it's time to eat. So that way the roast and this is done all at the same time. I'll put this in an hour and a half before the roast is done, or shut off the crock pot and put it on warm. Shut off the slow cookers, put it on warm. So that way everything gets served. We're going to have a fresh salad too. That in itself is a meal. The salad's enough to fill you up. We're going to make a bomb salad. So we're going to have a bomb salad, 7-8 cheese ravioli, and then we got multiple roast cooking, and a whole huge pot of just fresh vegetables. sugar snap peas, there's baby carrots, celery, red potatoes, sweet onions, all the good things really a roast should have, and some white mushrooms as well. I also want to tell you guys, I don't have to do it with this sauce, but if you happen to do what I did with the sauce, you may want to add, I didn't do it in this batch, sometimes I'll add a pinch of sugar. I'm not saying a lot, but you can add a little bit of, my grandma taught me this, add a little bit of sugar to your sauce and it will take the bitterness out. In this case, this sauce is not a bitter sauce. There's a lot of cheese, a lot of good flavoring I put in here, and herbs, and there's some salt, and so I really didn't need sugar in the Bertolli sauce. But we buy these other brands of sauce and they're a little bit on the bitter side. They're not bad, they just need a little bit of sugar. So what I do when I make sauce sometimes is I throw a dash of sugar when I make the sauce. And I usually don't make it in a bowl, I make it in a pot. But since we're not cooking it tonight, I made it in a bowl, and I'm going to let it bake itself out for an hour or two, just slow baking in the oven until it's done. And how do you know it's done? Well, all the cheese will be melted, on the edges will be crispy. Those are my favorite pieces of ravioli or lasagna. I like the corners get a little bit crispy. That's how you know it's done. But I will show you guys tomorrow the final results. I'll show you guys as I'm putting it in the oven. I will show you guys how the roast is cooking. There will be a third segment to our show, and I realize the show's a few hours long, so you watch it in pieces. Maybe watch an hour today, shut it off, continue tomorrow, that kind of thing. We have some most dedicated fans. I could put a 5-hour show and you guys will listen to the whole thing. And so I want to thank you for subscribing, being a part of our network, supporting Angel of the Night Radio and the Paranormal Ghost Society and of course Angel of the Night and all the little projects that we have going. There's a lot of good things coming in the future, guys, and I just want to say happy holidays. We'll be back tomorrow with more crazy live footage. This is Angel of the Night Radio. We're live in Carson City, Nevada. And I will see you in the AM as we put the roast on the slow cooker. And then, of course, I'll show you I'll show you guys the vegetables will start to shrink down in the pot, and they'll get lower and lower as they cook. I'll show you guys that, and then I'll show you what they look like once they're been stewing for a while with the meat itself. I mean, it's going to be a real wholesome, flavorful dinner. It's not totally homemade. It's just more like totally doctored and made to taste how I want it to taste. The thing about homemade is you got to buy each thing, and it costs a lot of money. What I spend is $100. I'd spend $200 if I got every single ingredient. Tomato paste is set. So the way it'll work out nicely for my son and his wife and kid coming over tomorrow, and it'll work out nicely for Tammy and I, and all 5 of us could sit down and break bread, and we'll be back tomorrow, guys. One last thing I want to do is show you what the final results look like for the night before we put it in the cooler. It should look like this. If it doesn't look like this and it looks like something else, you got a serious problem, because it's kind of like a lasagna you're making, only with ravioli. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a coffin full of ravioli. And we're just going to put that lid on the coffin overnight. Oh, I can't wait to eat this, and I shall see you in the AM, baby. We won't cook the ravioli in the AM. We will start at about 3 or 4 o'clock and try to have dinner done by 5:30 when we're able to sit and eat. But we'll let it sit in the sauce all night, and it'll just gain more flavor, because the ravioli will absorb the sauce, and then when it boils or when it starts to cook, oh man, it's going to be full of flavor and very cheesy. One last look. Oh yeah, baby. So good. This is Lord Rick of Angel of the Night Radio, and you're watching Good Eats on Christmas Eve of 2020. So it's time, everybody, for me to jet. I got a few more gifts to wrap up. I gotta finish cleaning up this kitchen now. I've made a mess. I got pea pods on the floor and all kinds of shit, I'm fucking sauce on the ceiling. Who knows, man? I'll probably have to change clothes before I go out and deliver gifts. But I'm gonna definitely put together a nice table tomorrow of food. I'll show you throughout the days it's cooking, because I will be here just relaxing. I'm going to have breakfast in the morning, fresh coffee, we'll open gifts, and then around 3 or 4 o'clock my family is coming over, and then a couple hours later we will definitely break bread, and you guys will get to see a little, you'll get to look into the life of Lord Rick Rowe. You'll get to look into the life of a paranormal adventurer and explorer, and you can actually see that there is more normality than you think, besides my crazy ass stories and my crazy ass life that I've lived. So I want to say good night, folks. I will see you tomorrow on Yule, Christmas, or whatever holiday it is you celebrate, because I hate I hate saying always Christmas, because I know there's people that celebrate Yule, Hanukkah. Everybody's different. You don't want to really offend anybody, but we love all our fans, and if you're just watching because you want to learn the recipe, doesn't have to be a holiday like December 25th, 2020 to eat this. You can make this anytime. Roast for your family, baked ravioli. This is a dish you could cook anytime. It's a little more costly than some of my cheaper eats, but that's only because I wanted the best for tomorrow, December 25th of 2020. It's been a crazy year with COVID. I'm lucky to even be here. I didn't know how the virus would react with me. I could have been deceased. I could have died a month ago. I'm still here. I'm alive. Isn't that enough to be thankful for? And what better than to sit down and have a nice meal with your family and just talk about the year in review and about each other's lives and about maybe what we're going to do next year when the vaccine comes and, you know, things start to open up a little more, like the movie theaters, for example, or some of the historic saloons I love to drink ale at. Maybe there won't be virtual dating on these apps forever, and I'll actually get to have a couple little girls in the future, because I've already done the boys. I'm done having sons, okay? I've raised 3 sons, 2 sons and a stepson. People say, hey, you're crazy for wanting to raise little girls, but I'm hoping this is the year that 2021 brings me all the things that I want. And there's nothing wrong with having the things that you want. And of course this Christmas, I'm spoiling my family with some good eats. When Tammy has a gift coming in a few days, it's late, it's stuck at the FedEx shipping center right up the street, and they won't give it to me. And I paid $2,000 for it. So I gotta wait. But I can't wait till it comes. And it's just, I mean, it's gonna be phenomenal. But I did still manage to pull off quite a lot of nice sentimental gifts for Tammy. A lot of hundreds of dollars worth of gifts. I spoil her all year long with gifts anyways. And I can't even buy myself a Santa suit that fits me. This is Lord Rick, and you're listening to Angel of Thy Night Radio. And I'm going to take that Santa suit up to my knees tonight, and I'm going to buckle that belt, and I'm going to put in my sack a bunch of gifts, and I'm going to take that sack, and I'm going to drag that sack in that house to house, and I'm going to put those gifts under the trees tonight, Lord Rick style. Happy holidays, everybody. And for you dirty mind fuckers out there, when I say sack, I'm not talking about my damn scrotum. Although I'm sure I'll be dragging that too. The older I get, they say your balls hang to the ground. And I'm getting quite old. I may not even need a fake Santa beard anymore. Give me a few years and I'll probably have a great beard down the hair. I'm a mountain man. Somehow hiking the mountain, drinking whiskey makes this shit fucking grow, I learned. I gotta shave this shit every day. Otherwise I have fucking a full fucking beard. I guess to catch the Sasquatch, you gotta be the Sasquatch, right? But I want to show you my sack, because I've never shown you guys my sack. Now, okay, get ready, because I'm going to show you my sack, okay? You guys ready to see it? I got you, bitches. Isn't that awesome, man? This sack holds about 10 to 15 gifts, and what I normally do when I dress as Santa Claus, I mean, I am a little bit of a whiskey-drinking, pot-smoking Santa. I mean, you know, it gets hot in the suit. It's a lot of work. You're sitting there all night, you know, trying to, oh, Merry Christmas, trying to play the role of Santa. And I mean, it's a job and a half, I'm telling you, man. You got to play the role. You got to be, in order to understand Santa Claus, you got to be the Santa Claus. You got to live the life of Santa Claus. You ever see Bad Santa with Thornton? That's kind of my life, man, sometimes, especially on the holidays. But anyways, This sack, it's about 4 feet in height, maybe 4.5 feet in height. And it even has a rope. And so what I do is I pull the rope like this. I put it over my back and I go to these houses and at midnight and I'm like, Merry Christmas! I'll put gifts under the tree, fill gifts, and go to the next house. I think we all should do good things in life. This is my sack. Stop thinking dirty-minded. I'll see you tomorrow, fuckers. Happy holidays. Oh man, this sack's not magic. I can't pull out a cure for COVID. Hell, I can't even fucking see. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday. We're going to get into the second or third segment of our show. It's going to be very short today just because I have my son coming over and his wife and their kid. So I'm going to try to give you little tidbits, and I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful holiday. Yesterday I had all the Santa get up on back, like I had it on backwards. The shit was on backwards, man. And here I am hosting a radio show. It's like people are probably looking at the show thinking, wow, that guy must be really drunk, you know? My friends know otherwise. They just know that I'm just a crazy old man, you know, crazy mountain Bigfoot chaser. I'm going to actually pull this down because it's interfering with me talking to you guys. It sounds like I got like something in my mouth, like I'm chewing tobacco. But anyhow, I'm going to be cooking some pies, okay? Pies are great homemade. Thing is, let's face it, guys, homemade pies and this could take a couple days to prepare, especially if you're using a real pumpkin. We got a bad windstorm we're in the middle of. Got some snow coming off up on top of the mountain, so I do expect it at some point this evening to snow. But I'm going to cook the pies. What I normally do, I'm on 370 and 375, and the pecan pie doesn't have to cook as long. So I delivered all my gifts last night. Had an amazing time. I mean, doing charity work is a wonderful thing, and when you deliver hundreds of gifts to houses, it really makes people's lives happy. You know, they leave cookies and milk and all that kind of stuff. And people think I'm joking, man, but I had the full Santa get up, and I actually had it on all right. When you're watching AngelOfThyNight radio, at the end of it, I will attach some pictures from last night's debut as being Lord, you know, Father Rickmas. You know what I'm saying? I'll go ahead and post a gallery from last night's, well, the pictures that we had taken, and it's pretty cool, I guess you could say. I got this, I showed you guys the sack. That thing fits an enormous amount of presents. The problem is, it's such a big sack, depending on what people get for Christmas, there could be 30 heavy presents in that thing. I swear that sack, at one time, I lifted a load of two bags of presents. That bag had to be over 100 pounds on my shoulder. And here I am, I'm walking in each house, hunched over. I got the whole bag on my back and I'm walking like this. Like, oh, Merry Christmas, I'm here to deliver your gifts. Oh, and they're like, what's that? Oh, just nothing, hurry up. You know what I'm saying? This is like 150 pounds you gotta lift. Another funny thing that happened to me is I was walking under a tree yesterday, and this is a big Santa hat, okay? Well, when I walked under the tree, it pulled my entire beard, wig, and hat off. Like there was a tree branch that came down, it pulled the whole thing off. As I was walking, dude, it just pulled the thing off. And I'm carrying presents. And I look back and it's fucking hanging in a tree. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, and this shit takes time to put on. You put the beard on, it's an art. You know, it takes time to adjust that shit. You have to get it adjusted. It's so heavy that it falls too, so you gotta get it behind the ears and behind the glasses. It's a lot of work, you know. You gotta make sure there's no hairs in your mouth. Trust me, I get hairs in my mouth. I was eating hairs last night. Along with drinking my coffee, I could feel like the hairs, you know. And then I don't want to take the beard off because I'm like, oh, I got to readjust it. So then you start drinking, smoking, and doing everything from this little thing they call a mouth. And trust me, it's small. Look, guys, I can finger my mouth. See? I'm fingering my mouth. That's about how big it is if you want to smoke or eat or drink. Because you don't really want to take the beard off because then you got to spend 2 hours fucking readjusting it. And you have houses to deliver gifts to. So I'm going to do the pecan pie for about, I'm going to warm it up for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to leave the pumpkin pie in for probably about 55 minutes. So we'll let that cook. The reason why I came on here, I just want to show you guys real quick how the roasts look, okay? It's 3 p.m. They were put in around, like I said, 9 or 10 I'd put them in. I put them around 10 a.m., maybe 10:30. But they're going to be cooking for a few more hours because we probably won't eat dinner till 5:30, 6 o'clock anyways because I want to make sure that this gets cooked, the roast gets cooked the most. And it's starting to smell good. I mean, I threw fresh onions in each one along with the marinades and cooking sauces. So the smell of roast is just unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, just funny stories. Like, I wear a lot of rings. Today I'm not wearing them. I got, like, my Santa beard caught on my rings earlier. Like, I went to reach for a gift. Instead, my one ring got caught in my beard, and I flung it across the room yesterday. Like, the whole beard just went, whoosh, everything just went, man. So it was definitely an experience, because I'm used to wearing a different kind of beard. Like, just a whole hat, just the whole setup all together. I'm not used to the separate wig and beard, and then you gotta do the belt and the hat and the boots and the trousers and the vest and all that. You know, I'm not used to that. And I'll get used to it, and I'll get better as time goes on. I'll get better clothing. But I stacked a lot of nice presents. I think I did a good job. Didn't really rip any presents, but I didn't like slice open any gifts or anything like that. I just had a problem with the new beard. Like I said, this thing ended up in the trees. There was like candy stuck in it yesterday. My ring got stuck. I flung it. I mean, this beard was all over the place. Can you imagine? I mean, you're delivering gifts and all of a sudden you're like, oh, 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 and you pull out your hand to wave and all of a sudden the beard just goes flying. I mean, come on. That was how my night went. It's kind of like being in a mall. And, you know, you get some kid that sits on Santa's lap, he's a brat, he's like, hey, you're not Santa Claus. I don't believe your beard's real. And then the kid starts pulling, and the beard turns out to be fake, and he pulls the beard down, and all of a sudden all the kids at the mall are like, Santa's not real. I used to dare my kids when they got older, I'm like a deer to pull Santa's beard when you sit on his lap when they were like 10, 11 years old. I was like, that's YouTube worthy, man. That will go viral, and I might actually make enough where it'll cover a paranormal trip that's not out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, pies are in real quick. I'm going to put the camera up close and stir the roast. I just, you know, I really wanted to show you guys this. And here's the thing. You know, this is a wholesome dinner, so why wouldn't I share it with you guys? It's not like I can buy individual gifts for all my good friends across the world. But what I can give you guys is a good cooking show and connect and let you know I'm alive and I'm healthy and I'm doing okay. Life is going on. I'm visiting ghost towns, having good eats, spending time with friends, family, mostly my pets, working in between, and you know, doing my paranormal research. And I try to find time late at night to do a little gaming too. So if you see me on as AngelOfThyNight on the PS4, feel free to add me, man. I think I'm going to start bringing out some booze. Definitely going to smoke the bong in a little bit. You know, some people drink eggnog. I just smoke the bong. But anyhow, we're just trying to get things. We just unwrapped all our gifts. I threw out the wrapping paper. We got a storm coming over the Sears. My shit's blowing everywhere. It's like by the time my son gets here with the kid and the girl, the wife, there ain't going to be nothing outside. No lights, nothing, man, because the winds are like whipping up out there bad. And here I am cooking a roast playing fucking Susie Santa Homemaker. You know what I mean? We got a nice fire going on. Just animals all got spoiled with a bunch of toys. And so the cats and the dogs are playing with their stuff. And I'm cooking a roast and I got pies in the oven. This is about as traditional as it gets. We have a Yule log, giant ass log. It's been burning all day. I mean, I love it, man. I love it. This is what Christmas and the holidays is really all about. So simple things. But I'm going to show you guys the roast, and I will be back later to show you how to make I'm going to put the vegetables on as they're cooking, and I'll do a segment. And then I'll do a segment where I show you how to make the garlic sauce for the bread. It's a garlic cheese sauce I'm going to show you how to make. It's really cool. You guys are going to like it. And the final result will be when I hold the plate up, and I'll show you guys the plate and how it looks on a plate. And we got baked ravioli going on, and it's going to take some time. It's 3 o'clock. Things will be progressing quite fast in the next couple hours. Everything's pre-made. It just needs to go in the oven. So once the pies are done, I probably could either start the ravioli or start slow cooking the vegetables. Just a little bit at a time, my friends. So stay tuned. This is Angel of the Night Radio. Listen to Lord Rick live in Carson City, and you hear Winston in the background going to town on his toys and staring at me. But anyways, it was kind of fun to share my adventures of Lord Rick Badcloths with you guys. It's always something funny, always some bloopers happen. I wish I had a camera following me around, because, like, is this really fucking happening? You know what I mean? But yes, it's actually happening. So, I'll be back. Let me show you a segment of how this looks, so you can see how it's brown, and how the marinades change colors now. And I'll show you guys what we have here, okay? We got the brown sugar and bourbon roast, and we got the Italian old-fashioned pot roast. Okay, and so this is Father Rickmas double roast today. And that's not what I'm calling it. I told you I'll call it crazy roast, because it's crazy that I'm cooking fucking multiple roasts. You know, usually you just cook a little roast for your couple of your kids and your wife and yourself. Got some company coming, so you got a lot of good cuts of meat. And so check it out, guys. Check it out. One of the important things with the roast, guys, is you should flip it now and then, too. Make sure it's cooking all evenly on both sides, but, oh, it's tender already. But it's got time to cook. And if you guys notice, you see how it's kind of, I'm going to thicken it up with cornstarch. See how it's a little watery? It's not that thick. I will use cornstarch later. But first, what will happen is about an hour, when I put the vegetables in, about an hour before, it'll start to thicken up, and if it's not thick enough, I'll use a little bit of cornstarch. But I have flipped the cuts of meat. They're not done. You can tell they're not even slightly breaking apart. So that's the Italian in herb and garlic pot roast. It's very traditional, very old-fashioned. This is a honey brown sugar bourbon roast. No need to add more. It's quite watery as well. Not really watery. I mean, this is the marinade and the sauce I made for it. We'll thicken it up also with some, see, here's nice 3 big cuts of meat with a little bit of cornstarch, and I'll put some vegetables. Not all, but we will put some carrots and celery and onions and sugar snap peas. Got some celery. It's going to be really good. You know, with the red potatoes and the white mushrooms. Oh, man. And this has a little, I put a little bourbon in this, so it's going to have a little bit of a bourbon-y taste. Not much, but the seasoning I have is a bourbon seasoning, too. So, it's, you know, you can see how it's brown on, because I simmered it with olive oil. Remember I showed you guys this? That's the crust. But still, it's going to have to cook much longer for this to be very tasty. And the longer you cook it, the more tender it'll be and the tastier it'll be. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lids back on. I'll see you guys in about an hour. We'll check back as about an hour we'll start either vegetables or the ravioli. And I'm going to probably put it on slow. I mean, probably the ravioli don't need to go in till they'll be the last thing to go in. Because when you bake ravioli and it's sitting in the cooler all night, it's not frozen, so it won't take long to cook, but you want the sauce to actually flavor the ravioli, so it's good to cook it slow and longer. It'll have a better taste. I'll be back, everybody. Happy holidays from Lord Rick at Angel of the Night Radio. So I'm going to turn these up to 5, and we're going to steam these vegetables. Half are going to go... Okay, this is the Italian herb and garlic pot roast. And then this is the honey, brown sugar, and bourbon pot roast. And it's boiling. I mean, it's... But we have these vegetables are going to be cooking on high almost for about a half hour. And then I'm going to split them up, put some in the roast, and some will stay in the pot in case someone wants steamed vegetables. And then go look at this, guys. Look at this. This has been stewing overnight. We got the pies done. Holidays are just about being family together. Good eat, good food, good times. You know, got some of this, look at this. Some of the best whiskey you're ever going to drink on planet Earth. Look at that. Look at how beautiful. Look at it now, because it's going to be, all that cheese is going to be melted. You have almost like 2 pounds, 3 pounds of cheese in that. It's amazing. It's going to be amazing. So, on with the show. Got some roasts, got some fresh garden vegetables, some pies, my rock star, which should be out of the picture, and 7 cheese spinach ravioli. Let's put it on in the oven. We're going to cook this for about an hour and 10 minutes. And then we're going to cook these vegetables for a half hour and transfer them and stew them for about 40 minutes in the crock pots. Had a little fire here on Christmas. It's out. And I'm still drunk. It's out.
That crock pot's probably like 20 years old.
Dude, the knob burned off. It is old, but the knob was on fire, man. The knob was on fire. It's okay. I can move this, and then you can use this burner because.
You can get them at a yard sale for like $5.
Well, no, they're used. You don't know if somebody pissed in them. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
You're like a kitty cat. I don't even know where you are.
That was crazy, man. The Christmas knob.
The story of
the Christmas knob. It's gone.
Christ. Bro, this is just, oh my god.
It's classic, man.
That's like memories right there.
Right, memories.
I'm gonna be literally haunted.
All I need is a pair of pliers, and look, I can turn it with a pair of pliers. I got pliers.
Dude, there's no turning. There's no turning that. I fucking melted the wires.
Well, then it's stuck on high.
It's stuck on.
It still will slow cook my beef. It still cook my slow cook my roast. It's okay. It's roast.
We'll just upgrade them to an Instant Pot.
Yeah.
I have an Instapot.
Oh yeah.
It's called an Emerald Lagasse Instapot.
Have you done a roast in it?
Not yet.
It takes like an hour and they're done.
Super roast. Just cook it in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? We're steaming the vegetables. They're almost ready to be transferred to the roast. About 3 more minutes. That looks good. Right.
He was trying to say. No, well, it's like my dad has to lie about where he's going just to see his own daughter and grandchild, and that really pisses me off. How she's controlling my car. That is abuse.
Right.
This man.
Not pictures, video.
Make sure you get that knob.
I will. These are the roast vegetables.
Knob, dog.
Oh yeah. The knob is, well, the knob's gone. I mean, there's no knob. What we're doing is we're putting all these fresh vegetables into each of the roast. But so,
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka.
Trying to play Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
It's Willy Wonka. Put about 5 or 6 scoops of each into each of the crock pots. I'm gonna put some cornstarch to thicken it too. That's just standard when you're making a gravy. I'll try not to drop any. I dropped another potato.
Did you say you'll try not to dirty up Tammy's
Kitchen? Oh, it's already dirty. Sorry. Wow. Vegetables are half cooked, so We'll let them stew in here. Oh, mushrooms, carrots, sugar snap peas and onions. Oh my God, red potatoes. This looks so good. Just saying. But it looks good. Oh, it's starting to fall apart. That's a sign it's getting done. So I steamed half of the vegetables, everybody, and then the other half, the next half hour, will cook in the crock pot just so the vegetables absorb some of the flavor, like the potatoes. They'll start to take on the color of the marinade and the cooking sauce I made. But look at this. Look at the honey bourbon roast. Look at this. Look at, oh, nice. Look at that piece, nice and brown. This is a good roast. And we have garden vegetables, fresh, mixed in with the roast. But these are two types of different roasts, two different types of taste. They can still cook the same time. Good cuts of meat. So we're going to let this cook. I'm going to give this about a half hour and then we'll be ready to eat. Let the vegetables cook a half hour with the meat just for flavor. And I'm going to start breaking apart the roast a little too. Just cut it into halves so it's smaller and easier to serve on plates. And then we'll let this steam on low for the next half hour as well. And if somebody wants steamed vegetables, they can have it. If they want roast vegetables, they can have that. A lot of options, a lot of choices. This is Lord Rick.
What's that? Oh, that's the ravioli, huh?
Yeah, it's 7 cheese ravioli, and it's layered like a lasagna. Every other layer is sauce and cheese.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. This might be the best dish.
You're so fat.
This is, yeah, there's some calories in that, but I can't wait. So everybody, dinner's almost done. I'm going to make the final sauce for the bread. It's not really a sauce. Well, it is. It's a butter olive oil sauce. And we'll baste the bread and only put in it for about 10 minutes. So put a couple scoops of butter. It's just basting butter. Like this. I don't measure. A little bit of olive oil. To baste the bread for flavoring. Pay attention. Onion powder. Parmesan and Romano cheese. Italian seasonings. Oops, I'm always dropping. Just to get the herbs, give it a little bit of color. Because we're doing croissants for Christmas and Cheesecake Factory oatmeal bread, wheat oatmeal, and then salt, granulated garlic. If I can get it open. There you go. And garlic salt. Put my finger over it. You want too much salt. You don't want salty bread. So just a little bit. And then garlic powder. And take this, microwave it for about a minute or two. And we're going to take, I'll tell you what, for a little more flavoring and nutrition, 2 spoonfuls of garlic.
You did it again.
Again.
Richard, I say stop messing with
2, okay? Just like that. 2 minutes. And we'll put the bread on here too. Open. Well, maybe about 1:20.
Maybe he thinks you're Jared.
Oh, it's gonna come up. It's gotta cool anyways.
Doesn't even like matter if I set this up.
I know, yeah, I don't know why he's still scared of you. I don't get it.
He thinks he's Jared.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. Jared likes to pick on him, so maybe. It's quite possible.
You probably smell the same.
That's right.
You got the
Spray the
same
can a little.
blood. Like,
Nice croissants. Oh, these are so flaky and good. Get down there. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, Cheesecake Factory bread. And this stuff is awesome.
Where are you?
Hiding somewhere. Animals hide when it's the holidays. Check this out, guys. What do you guys think of that? That's pretty badass. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna have olive oil mixed with the butter, so we'll just leave it as it is. We'll put it in the oven for 10 minutes. Ravioli's done, but it's not gonna hurt to keep it in an extra 10 minutes. Make sure that cheese is good and melted. So about 10 minutes we'll eat. And put the bread in for 10 minutes. That's the last thing you do is put the bread in. Okay? We got our nice table set here. Mac and cheese, meatloaf, nice homemade dip, beautiful wine. We'll add the roast and the vegetables and the baked ravioli and garlic herb croissants along with the Cheesecake Factory bread. Because you guys see, this is what it's going to look like once you microwave it. Is we're going to use the baster to baste the bread and the croissants. We don't just put dry croissants in. We want them to be full of flavor. We want the butter and the olive oil to take hold into the bread itself. But we have pizza blend. I call this pizza blend. It's really not a pizza blend to me. It's what it is it's mozzarella, smoked flavor, provolone, parmesan, and romano. We're gonna put some in this already. So it's already in there, and we don't have to sprinkle it on top. Watch.
What you have hanging off your mouth?
It's probably eating plastic. So anyways, look, we just put it on in. The cheese is gonna get melty, but there's cheese. It's gonna be nice cheesy garlic herb croissants. It'll be really good, really flavorful. This is like a $20 plate we're eating, man. When you put it all together, it's maybe a $30 plate, considering all the different things we're eating tonight. So fresh vegetables, steamed. This is. The sauce is thickening up. We got bourbon, honey, brown sugar roast with Italian
What
herb,
game is that?
old-fashioned roast, and garlic. Both are good.
Oh no, I let a squirrel go.
So I'm going to put the crock pots on warm once we start serving dinner. And I'm going to have to use a knife because what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop pieces of roast off in scoops of vegetables per plate. So you'll want to find a slotted spoon if the gravy's too thick. I use this slotted. That way it doesn't make the plates too much gravy on the plate, just a little bit with the roast. So we use this for roast. So you get ready to baste the bread, everybody. You want it a little crispy. Oh, that's heavy as hell. I'm gonna pull it out so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, you have your sauce. This is a nice cheese sauce made with a nice light olive oil and butter for the crust with some herbs. I'm just gonna smother it on, you know what I'm saying? You can actually go like this. Like this.
He's gonna fall up backwards.
Look at that, folks. It's gonna go back in. Is that you, Tigger? We're gonna go like this. This is good for the holidays. Nice crispy croissants. Not everybody eats croissants, so you can have a nice bread too with it. It's Cheesecake Factory bread, so it's not the cheap stuff. It's really good stuff. I've had it many times during dinners. Love it. You just go like that, smother it with cheese, garlic, and butter. Put it back in for about maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes? Let's say 10 minutes, yeah. Let that cheese melt on top. As a matter of fact, you can get pretty creative and you can go like this. Just sprinkle a little bit on here too. It's gonna be so good. There we go. Romano, Parmesan, all the cheeses. There we go. 10 minutes we eat. Maybe 5. Don't want to put it on too long. 5 we'll put it on. 6. 6
That's
is
so
good.
funny.
Alright, where's the thing? Up here?
Yeah.
I don't know how to use this, by the way. Just saying.
It's super simple.
This is it?
Yep.
What do I do?
Well,
Pound it in.
no.
The scorcher.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Like this?
No,
Yeah.
No.
I grab the handles like this.
Oh my god.
Okay, so first off, the floor is a little bit slippery over here. I wonder why that is. You pull it all the way up, so you
Okay.
pull it up like that.
Oh, I had it the wrong way.
Hold
Oh.
it.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
I need one of those.
Holy shit. Estate sale, Brandy.
There you go. Oh, be careful. Jesus.
Oh yeah, he's got like
Oil and
Ooh.
butter and
Whiskey,
Lord knows
wine,
what.
Fireball. I am having it good today. I'm gonna have some more whiskey, maybe.
You're not driving. Oh, you just.
She's like, you're not driving, it's alright. I gotta get spoons to serve all this. Okay, I got tongs.
I know.
Okay, this. Things are messy, but I'll clean up later.
Excuse me, that's not.
There's somebody in it, just throw them out.
It's okay, we'll just sit
What the hell? There are forks flying on their own in this house. Everything fly just up on
Well, it'll be on camera.
Good. But the problem is the camera's pointing over towards the stove. Like over here where I made the bread. Like right here. Like nothing happened and it was just sitting right here and all of a sudden it went whoosh. It's the weirdest thing.
It's your chip plate, your haunted chip
Chip
plate.
plate.
Is that the chip one? That
No,
doesn't look
those
like the
plates
chip
aren't
one.
haunted. Tammy had bought those plates years ago. Tammy bought those plates.
It's not gonna sit down or what?
Taylor warms up my bed every night. Climbs up on my blankets.
Oh wait, I have. Richard gets a chip plate.
Dang it. What happened to his chip plate?
I went with the all white. See?
That is not all
Perfect.
white.
Like a baby.
That's
Yeah,
like
that's-
an eggshell, off-white.
I don't know what color it is, but I'm happy with it.
What?
That plate is so old.
But I gotta make a
I'm
plate.
messing with you.
Oh, you know. I need views, man. I gotta make some money on my YouTube for a change. There's money in there. Alright, I gotta cut this roast up anyways, so I can't turn this off, so I'll unplug this for now. I can turn it with pliers, I think.
Richard, can you get me a cup or a glass? Because I want some of that great sparkling cider. What? Did you use my fork? What did you do to my fork?
I just hated it.
Oh, you hit it? You
Yeah.
hit it.
Just hit it.
Ooh, I get to be fancy with sparkling cider. Okay, Emma, you are going to share some sparkling. Wait, do we want grape or apple? We want grape or apple?
She's like, what?
So I'm serving the plates, everybody.
This is
It's looking good. I'm
not
give myself both
adult,
of
this
each
is
roast
kid.
because I want to try it myself.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Probably give us a favor and turn this.
Just the ravioli done here.
Yes, I'm going to be taking it out with the bread. And then you can get I'll put a scooper in there and you get what you want because I honestly don't know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different, so
Grape.
I won't serve anyone. They can get what they want. I can serve it on a plate, you know, whatever amount they want. This roast looks good though. I'm just chopping it up a little because it's kind of in big chunks, you know.
Oh, look, it's sparkly.
It is sparkly. There is some sparkly water there or flavor,
Like a
whatever the heck they
soda
call it.
grape or something.
It tastes like a grape popsicle.
Yeah? You like hot chocolate? No, I got hot chocolate to give you later. I got something special to put in the hot chocolate too.
Spice it with alcohol.
Oh, it's good. No, it's
It's
I got some stuff for kids that they come out with. I'm gonna pull this ravioli out.
Try it real quick. Just, huh?
Sorry.
I'm gonna leave these lids off. This has gotta cool down. This is gonna be hot. I got another oven mitt. This is gonna be hot as hell.
Are you even on it? No. Maybe.
No.
I gotta pull the bread off too. Oops. Ow. I suspected
What did you suspect?
that it burned through the glove and got me. There's a hole in the glove.
Jesus.
Now I gotta figure out, I gotta put the bread up here, but I gotta put it on something. It's very hot.
Can we use one of those things?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's cooled down.
Yeah, this is definitely cold down.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out the bread. Cool, that'll work. Santa's out of the way.
Cigarettes.
This is for Emma. Put this over here.
I don't know if you want to do with it or leave it there.
It's cool.
Leave it there as long as you turn the oven off.
It's cool when they have this.
Yeah.
There's always a way, right?
It's the like something.
It's hot.
It's great. Sparkling.
What's happening with the glass?
It's a wine glass.
Okay.
It's wine glass, right?
Cheesy garlic bread.
You're not coming up here?
Nope.
Is there an animal bagging?
Yeah.
Tigger.
It's Tigger.
Tigger.
He's making little noise.
You gotta watch Tiggs, man. He's crazy. He bags a lot.
You're not letting the dogs in, are you?
Well, if
Oh, he growled?
Wait.
probably damn you.
Oh, that's chickens. I'm like, what am I hearing?
That's right.
Oh.
Where's my spoon? Oh, there it is.
He wants what's on the table.
Does he like olives?
You can give Rocky a piece of pizza. And
Get some nice cheesy bread. Doesn't that look good? I'm fixing a plate right now. 2 types of roast.
He will not eat a block.
And then the baked ravioli. Look at this, man. There's 7 cheeses. Gotta be careful with this. It's don't have a lot of oven space, but just a scoop, because I can always come back and get seconds. Look at that.
He's just like, yeah, you're not fooling me.
And that's a plate fix for Christmas, everybody. I'll show it to you on film, and then I'm out of here to spend time with my family. But you can see, look at this beautiful roast. It's still very hot and will burn everyone, so I'm going to have to cut it up in slices so it cools down. But there is 6 roast, and they're huge pieces. Each one a pound or more. It's a big roast. And we got our steamed vegetables. Look at that. And come here, I got Sierra's meatloaf, fresh garden salad, pies, olives, homemade mac and cheese, and a dip. This is a really good dinner with some. What kind of wine is it? Oh, you're gonna love the food. Trust me, I'm a chef. A chef in disguise. Eccentric? Is that what this is called? Huh? What?
He said it
Intrinsic.
so he saved himself.
Intrinsic. Ah, I can't even talk straight.
Do you not have any salad dressing?
Yes, I bought some. Can't even see the plate. There's so much food on it. And then I'm gonna go back for seconds and eat 4 pieces. I got 2 pieces of roast and vegetables. I'm gonna have 4 pieces of roast and vegetables and 2 servings of ravioli and get about 5,000 calories like a black bear ready to hibernate. So everybody, everything's done. It's the final look. Pretty cool. I just wanted to kind of show you. We got a lot of traffic because it is the holidays. It's my holidays. Lord Rickmas 2020.
Miss?
COVID's, yeah, Rickmas, you know?
Miss.
Oh, I thought you said
And with the COVID, things been tough, but it's good. I feel blessed to be together with family. I don't have a party of 50, but, you know, keep it small. That's what Christmas is about. It's just your inner family, and we're going to have some good eats. I have room for pie and other desserts. You can top it off. I'll show you guys
Totally
real
remember
quick.
that one.
No, I didn't see it.
Love olives.
As far as I'm sure it is.
I'll get it when I sleep.
Oops.
Eventually.
Throw some black olives. Yeah, help yourself to the ravioli because I don't know how much you guys want, and I'm going to cut you a piece of roast apiece, and you can decide what scoop of vegetables you want from. Anyways, I topped it off with olives. We've been down. Here you go. Merry Christmas, everybody, and happy holidays. Peace out. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like these and home cooked videos and some of our ghost town adventures here in the northern Nevada and western area, the continental United States. We're live at Carson City. This is Lord Rick. You're listening to AngelOfThyNight Radio. Peace out, everybody. All right.
Is that wet?
So this is, which one you guys want first off, roast-wise,
Yeah,
okay?
let's do
This is honey, I'll tell you, honey bourbon, this is honey bourbon, honey, I can't even think, honey bourbon brown sugar.
Okay.
And this one is Italian herb and garlic traditional pot roast, just very traditional.
Alright.
Can you just give me some ravioli and a bread, some bread?
You don't want no pot roast?
No.
It's been cooking all
I
day.
just want a little bit of ravioli and some bread to start with.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a piece of bread of each if you want. You got a croissant and then you got some Cheesecake Factory bread.
That's good, dear.
Oh, sorry.
You're making my plate, remember? Not yours.
Burn.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna do the bourbon one.
I put a little bourbon in it, so. I think this knife sucks balls. I'm just saying.
What's this sound supposed to be?
What?
What's this sound?
I don't know. It sounds like a flute.
Yeah, what the hell is going?
I gotta get a different knife next time I cut. Like, I have other better
Right, it
knives.
doesn't even.
Because it's just so. This is a blend. Here we go. I got it. Now, do you want vegetables?
Yeah, I want a few.
Okay, hold on. Is it this? There
The day any of this gets a bigger fucking kitchen. And a massive ass fucking
Yeah,
dining
that's what
table.
we did.
we go. Cool.
Thank
You're welcome.
Sorry, dude.
So everybody, things have quieted down on Christmas. You know how it is. Everybody eats and then they go lay down, grab their bellies, you know. But we're gonna put on a movie, let things quiet down here. It's been a wonderful Christmas or holiday. It's not always about the religion. It's about family and friends. Each year, looking back, saying, "Hey, we're alive. We went through this, we went through that," and kind of share with my family my COVID experience. And you know, I did do some humor in the beginning of our episode. I tried to finish a little more family orientated and serious because I'm trying to let you look into my life. I mean, we're a close-knit family. I mean, everybody thinks, oh, Lord Rick's got black nails, he's got rings, he's weird, he's into weird shit. No, I'm not. I live a very traditional life as far as my family goes. Yeah, I'm very open-minded in life, but when it comes to my family, I'm very traditional and old-fashioned. And so, there's a few things I want to say. I got some really fine wine. Some really fine wine. I had $600 whiskey tonight. There's so much between the salad. You know, I showed you guys the salad. Had everything in it. And the summer type of salad. It had it had sunflower seeds. There was croutons, bacon, carrots, cheese, cabbage. It's just amazing. When you look at the salad that we had, 7 to 8 cheese, probably 8 cheese I think I counted. 8 cheese ravioli, and it's 3-4 layers deep of just spinach ravioli. Fresh garden vegetables. I mean, I have a whole pot of steamed vegetables. I could use this with another cut of meat, but you know what? I still have a few pounds of roast here, okay? And I usually do a taste test, and when things simmer down because it was really loud, everybody was hungry, wanted to eat, I'm just like, I'll do the taste test after because I still got room in my belly, okay? And so we got the zesty Italian garlic herb roast, and then we have the sweet brown sugar honey roast right here. This is the Ghost of Lord Rickmas Roast. And that's how I'm going to label it. And why do you call it that? Well, because it's designed to make you, it's a very relaxing thing. That's why I call it the Ghost of Rickmas Roast. Because, you know, it's going to take, when you have this, you're going to have nothing but good dreams. Okay, maybe you won't. I mean, maybe the Ghost of Rickmas may take you on a perilous journey. But in the end, the only good thing that can come from the Ghost of Rickmas Roast is that maybe you catch some Z's. You know, because you're like, oh, I'm so stuffed. It is so good. But my daughter-in-law was like, it is just amazing. I don't think she's ever had roast like this. And I actually put bourbon in the recipe. You guys seen that? And I'm going to tell you what it tastes like, and I'm going to give you a description because I want you guys to know. Because if you make this, you're going to want to, you know, you're going to be like, does it taste like Lord Rick's? Because you guys kind of want to make it like mine, right? So I'm going to only cut off a small piece. It's pulling apart. Okay, so This is the first piece, okay? Oh man, I gave up my fork, son of a bitch. Alright, let me see if I can, I'm just gonna use this fork, okay? It's kind of like a brown sugar. The meat, very sweet. And it has a very sweet, mild bourbon taste to it. But the meat is very sweet. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just, in your mouth, it just pulls apart. It's almost like barbecue brisket is what it tastes like, but you can taste the honey and the brown sugar in it. You can also taste the bourbon a little bit, you know, and we did put a little bit in there, and you can kind of taste it. So, cut myself on a nice slice here. I have enough for tomorrow. I'll have dinner. I have enough for tomorrow. I have baked ravioli. I have 2 types of roast, plenty of vegetables. This bread's out of the oven, so it's a little more crispy now. And I can put this in Ziploc bags tomorrow. Buttery herbal croissant. And it doesn't look like it, but I'm going to show you guys this. It's crispy on the bottoms, because remember I sprayed a little bit of oil. And in the tops. About 5 minutes before they came out, put them in for 10 minutes, pulled them out, heated them up, put the butter and the garlic and the sauce that I made, put them back in for another 5 minutes. Nice, they're not overly crispy, but they are on the bottoms, little toasty. And when they're warm, it's so delicious. So the croissants came out good. And this, we still have a loaf, if you look, a loaf of the oatmeal, wheat, Cheesecake Factory bread. And of course we did our own little recipe to top it off. And what I do is I cut slices in it. I'm not going to cut a slice right now, but we have 1 slice left. I mean, it's amazing. It's just crispy on the bottom. So good, I don't mind eating it. As long as I got a little wine. My God, I'm in heaven. Last dish, I'm going to tell you. But this is the kind of thing, this is the kind of roast, the Ghost of Rickmas roast. When you eat it, it's going to take you on a journey like going back in your past. And the reason why I say that is because this is like Grandma's roast. It literally is. Because you always want to know, hey, Grandma, what's your secret to making the house smell good? And the secret to your roast? This is the secret. This is as close you're going to get as a Grandma's roast. Yeah, so it is the Ghost of Rickmas roast. It's the Ghost of Rickmas roast, obviously. So, you know, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to take a little small piece. I mean, there's so much here. Look at the slab of meat. I didn't even cut into that. Look at that. And what I'll do is I'll take a piece off it, you know. I don't need a huge piece or anything like that. Just a small piece, you know, and the sauce is thickened. Like, you can take a little sauce like this, put it on top, okay? And I'll tell you what this tastes like. If I can grab it, it's falling through the fork. Here we go. Deep, rich flavor. It's an Italian roast. You can taste the garlic, you can taste the herbs, but it has a very deep flavor to it too. Very rich and wholesome, very savory. And so my son said, you didn't need to make both 2 pots of roast. That's overkill. And I was like, I didn't know how much you guys would eat. You know, you got a little kid, sometimes it eats a little more. You guys are, you know, my son, he's in his 20s. Sometimes he's surprised. You'll eat the whole roast, you know. And you got me who'll go up seconds and thirds, and then Tammy, and then my son's wife. So next time I know, I just make 1 roast. But I did this for you guys. I made an extra pot roast, so you guys could see how, you know, you got options. So we have the 8 cheese ravioli, steamed vegetables, with your white mushrooms, your potatoes, carrots, garlic, sugar sap peas, onions, so forth, and carrots. And then you got your zesty Italian. It's not too zesty, just mildly, but your old-fashioned grandma's traditional pot roast, Italian herb pot roast, and then you got your sweet honey bourbon brown sugar roast. So I just wanted to show you guys, I wanted to give you the taste test. And I mean, the bread is just phenomenal, the wine is great. I mean, honestly, if I had more room, I'd pack more in. But I only have room tonight probably for a piece of pecan pie. And I'm gonna have to blow these extra calories off in next week's basketball. We have these practice scrimmages, and I'll have to really work it off, you know. We got a great group of people that come out every week to play basketball, exercise, run around. It's very good for you, and we need to do it. And Tammy, for Christmas, bought me some of these Mamba basketball sneakers, or basketball shoes. I mean, they're just phenomenal. They look phenomenal. They're Kobe Bryant shoes. They're just, I'm a huge fan of Kobe Bryant. It's a shame what happened to him this year, and I just love the sport. I love basketball, and I win a lot of games. I play a lot of young, talented guys, and I still win games. Because older guys sometimes can really play a good game of basketball, and that's proven considering we have some older guys on our team. They're phenomenal players. They hit threes all the time. I mean, it's a great competitive sport, and the Phantoms next year is going to bring you guys some live sports and some sports events on our YouTube. So stay tuned. Right now, we'll just post our practice scrimmages. In 2021, I'll post a lot of ghost town footage. A lot of journeys on YouTube will be posted from some of our trips, some of our expeditions we've done over the last few years. And of course, now and then I'll do some cooking episodes. The next time this spring, I'll do a cooking episode. I'll teach you how to make kebabs. I'll teach you how to marinate the meat, put it on the sticks. We can do seafood. We can do some really wholesome meat, because there's different types of beef. And I hate fatty steak, but we'll put some really good meat and seafood together, and onions and red and green peppers. And I'll teach you guys how to make kebabs and how to marinate them overnight and all that. And that'll be another thing I've been wanting to do as far as a cooking show goes. So I want to wish everybody a happy holidays. The Lord Rick. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. Check out our website. Go to the investigation archives. We got hundreds of locations, some awesome paranormal evidence. Please subscribe to our channel. We got all sorts of things coming, all the way ranging from ghost towns to sporting events to our radio show, comedy, cooking shows. We try to bring you a variety, so there's something for everybody. Give us a like, show us some love, subscribe, and we'll see you in 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. This is the Lord Rick, a.k.a. Angel of the Night. You're listening to Angel of the Night Radio. We're live in Carson City, and I approve of this feast, and that's what we have to be blessed for. The food, the laughs, the family, the friends, and that we're here to celebrate another year. And that's what matters. Cheers, everybody.